is able to get so far in World Cup tournaments, the finals of these tournaments, a tournament Scotland haven't even qualified for since 1998.
Well, you know, you teed that up beautifully, Liam. We've heard from our pundits, we've heard from Ben Doak. Liam's giving us a lowdown on tonight's opponents. We're also joined by some Scotland fans. Let's now hear the thoughts of the Scotland manager, Steve Clarke. He spoke with the media last night.
How important is getting a win?
It's been a long time since we had one, so it'd be nice to get one here. Obviously a difficult match, good opponents, but a game we look forward to.
Injury-wise, is this the worst situation you've faced in your tenure as a national team boss? And are you confident you've got the strength and depth to at least compete with Croatia?
If we didn't think we could compete, we'd have stayed at home. We're here to compete, we're here to get hopefully a win on the board, at least a point on the board. We have a good squad. The injuries are there for everyone to see, so I don't think there's too much point in harping on about the injuries. It's better just to concentrate on the boys we have here.
With every crisis there's an opportunity?
Always a chance. I always try to focus on the players that are here that we can work with to try and, like you say, kickstart our campaign. So the first thing is the performance has to be good. If the performance is good, then we have an opportunity to hopefully take some points home.
How do you look upon Croatia as a small nation who've punched above the weight and achieved a lot? Is it with admiration, envy, a mixture of both, or as inspiration?
Well, I think admiration, really, because they've been fantastic. They've got a small population like we have in Scotland, but they continually produce top footballers, top quality. So if I was in somebody's shoes in and around the Scottish scene, this has got to be a country to look at and maybe model ourselves on a little bit.
What do you think is behind their success?
Good player development from a very young age all the way through to the national team.
What's your perspective on the stats of it all? Because it's very easy to look at stats saying 1-1 and 14, but what do you see as being mitigating circumstances and anything else? Where do you stand on it?
I don't really bother about the stats, to be honest. I'm not a stats person. I'm not driven by stats. We've played a lot of really good opponents in the last year. October last year when we played Spain away, we've played a lot of good opponents. The results haven't been quite what we wanted in terms of victories. I think we haven't regressed. I don't think we've gone backwards, and we've always worked hard to try and move forward. So that's where we are.
In that regard, are we actually paying the price for the success that we've had over the period? Because, you know, we are in the top shelf of the Nations League. We have just come off the back of a tournament. Are we actually paying a price for the good work that we've done?
It's a nice price to pay when you have matches of this calibre, when you qualify for tournaments, when you get to the highest level of the Nations League. Obviously, we've done something right to be here. We're now finding a level that's a little bit more difficult for us, but we have to meet that challenge head on. And I think if we do that, we'll come out the other side with a better group, a better understanding of what you need to do at this level to get positive results.
The injuries are far from ideal, but in a way it might help in the chance, the possibility to fast track a guy like Ben Doak, simply because there's a lack of options, a lack of the guys that you usually have in the starting positions. Is that something that's in your mind ahead of this game? Is there an opportunity for a start?
I think when you have so many injuries, you're right, there are opportunities for other players, and if they're given that opportunity, then it's down to them to grab that chance with both hands. So, and Ben would be one of those, but there's other players in the squad who are probably waiting for a chance as well. So,
just in terms of the last two games, well, there's been positives in terms of performance, just haven't quite got the result over the line. What are the kind of main takeaways from that?
You have to get all the small details right. If you look at the last two games, the home game against Poland, I felt on the night we were the better side, but we made mistakes. We made mistakes that cost us goals, two penalties, shot for distance that maybe could have been saved. We don't know, but maybe. We played well in the game, but we didn't get anything out. It was disappointing. Going to Portugal was tough. We managed to take the lead. We defended resolutely till the end. And as you get to the end against the top sides, because they keep coming and keep coming and keep coming, you have to keep your focus and your concentration. Obviously, we made 2 or 3 small mistakes in one action, which leads to a goal against the top side. So we have to tighten up in all these small details.
is there a point where you, as a manager, as a very realistic manager, where you accept, I need to get results?
It's not for me to decide.
No, I'm asking from your point of view, how you feel.
Right, the thoughts here of the Scotland manager. I can tell you kick-off is fast approaching. The national anthems are underway there in Zagreb. Back to our commentary team of James McFadden and Liam McLeod.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, Marcelo Brozovic is being presented with a shirt with the number 99 on the back. He won 99 caps in what was a stellar career for Croatia, and he was part of the side that reached the World Cup final, beating England, of course, in the semis before coming up short against that fabulous French team in the Luzhniki in Moscow. So he is just receiving that memento, and he applauds his former teammates who are lined up to the right of the halfway line, the Scotland players to the left, the officials in the middle, and it's almost national anthem time here in Zagreb, the capital of Croatia, as Scotland prepare for match day 3 in this edition of the Nations League. And despite the fact that this tournament perhaps not quite as important as the qualifiers next year, it's still huge. In Croatia for this one. So we've had Flower of Scotland, now it's time for the national anthem of the hosts, Croatia. Well, believe it or not, Scotland have a winning record against Croatia, going back across their previous 6 meetings. They've just lost the one, though it was probably the most important one at the European Championship finals, the delayed tournament in 2021. A couple of the games have just finished that we've been keeping up to date with this afternoon. In the Championship, it's finished Partick Thistle 1, Falkirk 1. Those quick-fire goals, Falkirk scoring through Ross, Graham equalising a couple of minutes later, one apiece there. And in the women's match today, it's Rangers 1, Glasgow City 1 is the full-time scoreline from that match at Ibrox. So those 2 matches have now drawn to a close. Full updates, of course, as we go along of this one here, the commentary coming from Zagreb, but we will have the reaction from those games, all the full-time scores at bbc.co.uk Facebook.com/Sports Scotland. I have to say, it's not the electric atmosphere that I've heard in this stadium before. Of course, that's down to mainly the fact the stand across from us is closed because of the earthquake here 4 years ago. It's unsafe. So they haven't been using that since then, as the banners and all the displays are taken off the pitch, and the two captains, Andrew Robertson and Luka Modric, meet on the halfway line. It's Andy Robertson's 77th cap, which takes him level with Alec McLeish in the Hall of Fame. Luka Modric, 181 caps now for his country, and that takes him above his old Real Madrid teammate Sergio Ramos in the all-time cap list in European international football. Only Cristiano Ronaldo, another ex-teammate of his from the Bernabeu, is ahead of him, and he's not catching him. They're just about ready to go. Scotland in their changed colours, the really pale light blue kit with the purple flashes. Croatia are wearing their dark blue kit this evening rather than their red and white checks. Scotland line up with Gordon in goal. Ralston, Suter, Hanley, Robertson, Gilmer, McLean, Doak, McTominay, Christie, with Dykes leading the line. Shea Adams not ready to start because of illness, but he is on the bench. Scotland will kick off left to right as we watch from the main stand here, and it's Billy Gilmore who pops it back the way, and then the long ball out to this near side is flicked out to the left, where it's booted away by Torino's Borna Sosa, the left wing back for Croatia. It's back with Manchester City's Gvardiol, and he finds Taleta Tsar just outside his own box, and then he shifts it to the right hand side for Josip Talo. There will be periods obviously in this game, James, as it was in Lisbon last month, where Scotland will be without the ball. It's important they know what their jobs are and they stick to them.
Yeah, I think there won't be as sustained periods as the game in Lisbon. You know, Croatia, a very good side, but I don't think they're quite at the quality levels that Portugal had, and straight away you can see, you know, Scotland aren't going to just sit back all the time. They try to be a bit aggressive there. Billy Gilmore, you would expect to be the deeper one, but it's kind of McLean that's playing deeper and allowing that platform to go and press. But listen, there's going to be periods where Scotland need to sit behind the ball and defend.
Loads of space out wide on the right for Perisic. He moves it infield to the number 15, Pasalic, the Atalanta midfielder. And he's back onto it from Modric, who scored the winning goal against Poland in the previous match day, which was held in Osijek. And it's out to this left-hand side for Sosa. Just rolls it back to Gvardiol on the Tivoli against the Poles in Glasgow. And he helped set up the McTominay, the first McTominay effort as it goes out to the right-hand side. It's a little ball back in field by Shutalo to Modric on the halfway line, and out to Perisic, low ball in field, trying to get it under control was Matanovic, and eventually pops all the way back through to Craig Gordon, and he bowls it to Ralston, and then squared by John Suter, who starts for Scotland this evening, the Rangers defender. And a long ball up towards halfway. McTominay can't get anything onto it. It's in the centre circle. Pasalic just playing it short and then back out to Gvardiol. Pasalic onto it again, and he sweeps it out to that right hand side for Perisic, who scored the third against Scotland at Hampden at that European Championship meeting Scotland had to win. And there was a real gap between the two sides. Perisic is onto it again on the far side, gets the cross in, headed away by Grant Hanley. He's the sole survivor from the starting 11 for Scotland when they were last year. Robert Snodgrass scored the only goal as Croatia have it in the right again. Perisic with the cross, gathered by Craig Gordon, and an early feel of the ball will do him no harm at all, the 41-year-old.
Yeah, well, I think it's comfortable gather for Craig Gordon. Little deflection on the cross takes out the pace, and it just goes straight into his hands. But Yeah, I think that it's a big night in how Scotland play. Of course, the result is massively important, but I think that how Scotland approach the game in terms of are they going to press high, are they going to try and put Croatia under pressure and when Croatia have the ball and try and win the ball back, and then also the build-up play for Scotland. It looks like early on it's going to be keep the ball, and as Craig Gordon just lumps it up the park, but I think that's the right decision. Keep the ball and try and build attacks through the midfield. Of course, where we're very strong, but it's how Scotland adapt then when they lose it to go and close those gaps.
Kramaric out to the left, Sucic with the cross ball. Sosa's ball breaks back to the edge of the area. The shot down low into the ground will be scooped away to safety by Ralston, and out for a throw into Croatia, level with the Scotland 6-yard line on this near side. It was decent build-up play by the Croatians, and already down this left flank, Borna Sosa seeing a lot of the ball. He's on it again, back to Gvardiol midway inside the Scotland half, and Pasalic back to Chaleta Tsar just on the halfway line. He shifts it to the right for Shitalo, and Chaleta Tsar again. Shitalo, the right of the back three, down the line for Perisic, the veteran, playing as a right wing back effectively. He's probably not expecting to be doing too much defending this evening. And then it's shifted onto that right-hand touchline for Sucic. It's a long ball forward. Ralston will see it behind for the goal kick. And Craig Gordon will collect him out. He was trying to keep it in play. I think he has done in the end. It's a big night for Craig Gordon. He must have thought, and you know him well, James, he must have thought the Scotland days were behind him.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you never probably accept it, they're behind you, but the way that he played in his last game, and it certainly looked like that was a farewell for Craig Gordon. But I know that how driven he is to keep playing and play on for as long as he can, and I'm sure that in the back of his mind he would have felt, probably actually at the front of his mind he'd have felt, listen, I'm going to get back in the Hearts team, I'm going to put myself in a position to be selected again. I don't think he would have ever given up on it, but I may be surprised at how quick he's got back in.
Well, Dykes has pinched it back, and he's gone for goal from just about the halfway line there. He wasn't too far away. It was enough to scare Dominik Livakovic slightly there as he backpedalled. It was actually careless from Pasalic. He had it taken off him, didn't realise Dykes was there, and Dykes launched it from the halfway line to try and catch the keeper out. It was over the bar. 0-0, still in the early stages here.
It's a great effort. It took me by surprise as well, because he does really well to win the ball back instantly. Turns and tries to catch Livakovic off guard. It's a decent effort, which goes over the bar in the end, but I don't mind that at all for Lyndon Dykes.
We played 6 minutes in Zagreb. Scotland open up with back-to-back defeats. That soul-sapping night against the Poles at Hampden. Gilmer and McTominay brought them back from 2-0 down before that late penalty. So Poland leave Glasgow with all 3 points, and then a really good showing against Portugal in Lisbon wasn't enough. Another late goal. There's been loads of them have gone in against Scotland recently, most notably against Hungary at the Euros, as Robertson charges down the left. Early ball into the box is knocked away by Chaleta Tsar, then with the outside of the boot from the edge of the area. It was well passed from Ryan Christie. He's of course been playing in that more withdrawn sitting midfield role with Bournemouth, but he's back. I suppose needs must with John McGinn not being in the team. You couldn't really consider shifting Christie back a bit, but it may well be that's where we find him in the Scotland team in the months and years to come. We shall see. 0-0, but it's another decent little passage of play.
That's brilliant. Andy Robertson, the ball's played to him, he knocks it round Perisic and runs the other way, bombing up that left wing, and he gets the early cross in as well, which was aimed for Doak, and when it comes back to Christie,
there's a slip by Hanley, and there's an opportunity here for Matanovic driving up to the edge of the area. Hanley desperately trying to redeem himself, but he's brought his man down right to the edge of the box. It's going to be a free kick. It's just about the edge of the D, slightly right of centre. And Luka Modric should already be eyeing this one up. His winner against Poland in Croatia last month came from a free kick. It was from the other side of the D, but this is a clear and present danger to Craig Gordon's goal, this, and Grant Hanley, just a little slip, and it could cause all kinds of problems here.
Yeah, he just slips on the way down. He still gets his head onto it. I thought he actually recovered pretty well, and I'd like to see it again. We don't have replays, and it looked like a soft foul for me.
Sučić and Modric over it. Modric with the right, Sučić with the left. Sučić scored a wonder goal against Atletico Madrid. They need to sweep that past one of the finest goalkeepers in the world in Jan Black. The Slovenian. Here, chance for Croatia. The Scotland wall back, just to the left of the penalty spot. Modric eyeing this one up in front of those Croatian fans who are bunched in behind the goal, off to our left. He made to wait a little bit here by the Romanian referee, Stvan Kovacs. He took charge of Atalanta's Europa League final victory over Leverkusen last season. It's Sučić who takes it, drives it low, it's blocked by the wall, comes off. A Croatian player last, in fact. There was a Croatian in the wall and it was behind for the goal kick, and I think a big sigh of relief from the Scotland fans up the end of the stadium. Craig Gordon, and perhaps from Grant Hanley more than anyone.
Yeah, I think Grant Hanley, exactly, more than anyone, and it was a great position. One for Sučić on the left foot to just lift that over the wall, and I think he tries to go, goalkeeper side with a bit of power on it. Comes off one of his teammates, but it's a great area when you're taking free kicks. It's probably the perfect place to be taking it from. So it is I'm not saying he should score, but it's certainly a dangerous position and a reprieve for Grant Hanley.
0-0, just over 9 minutes in. Now we're ahead of the UK here, so 6:10 local time. Scotland have it with Christie, rolls it back the way to Hanley, squares it to Suter. John Suter in for his 10th cap this evening. It's a long ball from Ralston up the right hand side, little flick from Sosa, takes it straight to Ralston. Here's Kenny McLean, bends the ball forward with the left, looking for Christie. It's headed away by Chaleta Star, and it's broken back into the penalty area, but it was behind for the goal kick, and it will be a Croatian goal kick, nothing each.
Again, good play. Kenny McLean's looking for the little diagonal. Ryan Christie making that run off the left, just inside the outside centre back. And the positive is that Scotland are in a position then to win it back with Andy Robertson. It's not the best effort at all, but it's shown that threat.
Oh, a mistake by Gvardiol, and Doak's onto it. Doak rampaging down the right hand side of the box. He's into it now, pulls it back towards the penalty spot, and he gives it straight to Modric. Gilmour couldn't get onto it, and Modric away, and Sosa on this near side. That looks so promising.
It's a wasted opportunity. Ben Doak does really well. Rob Gvardiol stands on the ball, but at his defence, he only initially had Lyndon Dykes in the box, and he didn't really make a run. I think if Lyndon he peeled away towards the back post, darts to that front post, it just makes Ben Doak's mind up for him, and he can play earlier, and then he drives it into the box, and I still think just flash it across. He's gone for the cutback that probably wasn't on.
Fired out by Sučić to Sosa on the left hand side, bends the ball in, and it's cleared on the 6-yard line by Robertson. Picked up in the midfield by McTominay, who's looking for Dykes. He managed to work it out to Christie on the left hand side. And then back with Robertson inside his own penalty area. He goes back to his keeper. And Craig Gordon, cap 76 this evening, takes him level with Paul McStay's, one behind Robertson, but here comes for Croatia to Matanovic, the Eintracht Frankfurt striker, just turning it back the way, and it's with Pasalic, exchanges passes with Sosa, infield to Andrej Kramaric, and back into the centre circle it goes to Šutalo. He finds Gvardiol. Croatia got everyone outfield wise in the Scotland half at the moment, and it's Gvardiol with a big switch, looking out that right hand side for Perisic, who's going to do well to keep it in. He's at least prevented the goal kick, and it goes out on the far side down by the corner flag for a throw in to Scotland. Ivan Perisic, he was without a club actually for an extended period in the summer there. He eventually was picked up by PSV Eindhoven, the Dutch champions, age of 35 now, and he is earning cap number 137 this evening. Scotland throwing down the left, which is bowled forward by Robertson in the midfield. Gilmour heads on out to his Napoli teammate McTominay, gets away from one, but he couldn't get it through to Dykes. It's been mopped up by Croatia through Chaleta Tsar. He goes back to his goalkeeper, and it's at the right foot of Livakovic. Made those 3 memorable penalty shootout saves against Japan at the last World Cup finals, as Kramaric picks it up on this left-hand side, level with the edge of the centre circle in his own half. Infield to Modric, up against Doak. Turns it back to Kramaric. Big switch out to Perisic on that far side. Against Christie, just pokes it back the way. Where it is picked up by Josip Šutalo. Now with Modric, right of the circle, out to Perisic on the far side. He rolls it back to Šutalo. And then to Chaleta Tsar inside his own half. They're very comfortable, just knocking the ball about. Or Croatia, and disappointed they lost their opener against the Portuguese in Lisbon before picking up the 3 points against Poland. They were runners-up in the Nations League last time, beaten by Spain on penalties. As Gvardiol picks up in an advanced position out to Perisic, little cushion header is well read there by Robertson, and now he's driving down the left-hand side, looking for the run of Dykes. Not much else support at the moment though. McTominay's made his way forward into the Croatia half. As Robertson decides to turn it back, easy ball to Christie. He exchanges passes with Robertson, and now it's with Gilmour on the halfway line. Robertson again, back to Hanley.
It's been a great start for Andy Robertson, busting forward down that left-hand side. They're so used to seeing, and it just takes the pressure off. It allows Scotland to get up the park and gain a bit of control. He only had Dykes. Ben Doak was too far back. He couldn't get further forward, so it was the right decision to turn back and try and get Scotland up the pitch.
It's not decisive from Croatia at the back there. Livakovic, McLean picks it up midway inside Croatian territory, moves it to Robertson, shifts it to Suter, and out to Ralston on this near side. It's his 15th cap, the Celtic man. Doesn't get much game time at club level, and he's getting starts with his country, as he did for all 3 games in Germany in the summer with Aaron Hickey. He missed most of this season as well, as Hickey, Nathan Patterson just working his way back at Everton. He's still some way off, I think, though. At least he's back in training. Here's McTominay picking it up in a deep position and moving it back to Suter. Out to Ralston on this near side. Side foot ball forward towards Dykes is well read by Chaleta Tsar. Now it's out to Sosa on this near side, finds Pasalic just to the edge of the Scotland box. The route forward was cut out though on the left, and Robertson involved again. Good defending, and he picks it up on the left, asking too much of Christie. He's not going to give it up, but it's turned back to the goalkeeper by Šutalo. We played 15 and a half. Croatia 0, Scotland 0.
It was good pressure from Croatia. Scotland, knocking the ball about and having to take that risky pass because they press so well as a team, and Lyndon Dykes just reacts a little bit too late for the pass. It's, I think it's the right option from Ralston to try and put it into his feet, and then Croatia, have the bodies in that area of the field where they can, cause Scotland problems. But again, Andy Robertson tucks in very well when the ball's in this left side and snuffs out the danger.
Dusk here in Zagreb. The floodlights are on. No goals yet. Ralston with a header back the way. A little bit panicky there. He's under pressure from Matanovic, but he's managed to find Gilmour. Now it's with McLean. Flashes it out to Robertson on the left. Infield to McLean and then forward to Gilmour, whose 2 senior goals both come in the Scotland shirt. Did so against France. Before that goal, just after half-time against Poland, began the ultimately futile resurrection of that game. And Hanley on the ball, carelessly giving away that penalty late on. Now it's with Gilmour, who's had to make do with sub-appearances for Napoli. Just the one start it came in the Coppa Italia. McTominay's managed to force his way into the starting 11 in the Neapolitan club, and he's been in the goals as well. Scott McTominay, as he has been for Scotland, of course, scored against Palermo in that cup tie that Gilmour started in, and then in the opening minute against Como last weekend, ducked to water for McTominay, and I don't think we would have expected anything else.
No, I think that playing the more advanced midfielder, he makes intelligent runs, and he shows that he's got a cool head when he gets into those positions.
Well, Vardiol's giving it away again, and McTominay comes to the edge of the box. He shoots, blocked by Chaleta Tsar, and it's picked up over on that far side by Sucic. They've been a little bit careless at the back, Croatia, a few times, but here they come, driving forward with Kramaric up towards the edge of the Scotland box, rolls it low out to the left hand side of it now. Sosa pulls it back onto the 18-yard line. Really good challenge there by Gilmour, and it's picked up by Doak, who is brought crashing to the ground. That'll be a yellow card as well, and Billy Gilmour felt the full force of that. Pasalic has been yellow carded. Free kick Scotland, 0-0 in 18 minutes. And now we can perhaps get a little word with Willie Miller, who's watching this from the studio in Glasgow. Willie, what have you made of the opening 18 minutes?
Yeah, pretty comfortable, I would suggest, Liam. A couple of opportunities, the Dykes long range, and I think Doak should have done, exactly what Faddy said there, and just flash it across the face of the goal rather than trying to cut it back. Anything can happen, can come off a defender and end up in the back of the net. So a couple of opportunities and pretty comfortable. Scotland going back the way, defending well, good shape, and when they get the ball, that they're hanging on to it pretty well. So I think the first 20 minutes or so has been pretty positive.
Sports Sound here, BBC Radio Scotland. We're live in Zagreb. 0-0 Nations League match day 3. Kramaric back to Pasalic and out to Vardiol on the near side in the Scotland half. Now Kramaric chasing it forward up towards the edge of the box. Now he's into it, rolls it left. Sosa looks up, left foot, deep cross ball towards the left back position. It's flicked away. There was a little push on Ryan Christie there inside his own box. So Scotland will have a free kick. Are you watching this as comfortably as Willie is right now?
Yeah, I think Scotland do look comfortable, and they've looked like they can carry a threat. Andy Robertson, when he's marauding forward down the left, looks dangerous. The last opportunity there where Scott McTominay takes the shot, he's got Christie to his left, Dykes just beside him, Doak outside to the right, and then the shot's blocked. It looks like Croatia are going to go and get on the attack, and who gets back there? It's Ben Doak to go and win it back, dribble past a couple of players, take the pressure off. And I think that Croatia look dangerous because their intelligence to go and pick up positions beyond the midfield and on the counter-attack especially look like they're going to get into dangerous situations. What I've been impressed with is the shape and the structure of the back four. When cross balls are coming in, they're getting in the right positions. Andy Robertson in particular, the last one there, Ryan Christie getting back round to make sure that they're covering each other. So no, I think it's been a good start. I think Ralston started well. He's used the ball very well, and he's probably going to just give it away as he's on it.
Yes, because you've said it. He's found Gilmour.
But I think it's been a good start to the game. But Croatia are a team, we know their quality, that they are going to be dangerous. It has to be total concentration. We're in League A, the Nations League, where you against teams that will punish you if you make mistakes. We've saw that so far in this campaign. But no, I think that Scotland have started really well. Had a couple of shots, okay, speculative, but still carrying that threat going forward.
McTominay has it wide on the left, level with the edge of the D of the Croatia box, rolls it back to Robertson. Now with McLean, who set up that fabulous McTominay header in Lisbon last time out. McTominay moves it back in, fields a shot from the edge of the box, and it's a really decent effort from Gilmour as well. It's been made to look like a comfortable save by Dominik Livakovic there, but Gilmour got plenty behind it, and the Croatia number 1 holds on. It stays 0-0 on 21.
But again, it's great play in around the box, nice possession, not forcing it, and then a little 1-2 with Gilmour, and I think it's comfortable in the fact that it's probably straight at Livakovic. He gets in good position, gets behind it and gathers it well, but it's really good play again.
Here goes Perisic down the right for Croatia as they attack, and then he's in the attacking third now, looks up at the box, gets the cross in, it's away by McLean, and then picked up on the far side by Roberts, who just turns away from Perisic. And then Gilmour gives it away straight to Pasalic. He was looking for McTominay. Pasalic forward out to the right. It comes to Perisic. Just shifting it back the way to Sucic. And then to Modric. He's mentioned him too often yet, but he's down the byline. He gets the cross in. Headed away by Hanley. Bouncing ball at the edge of the box. Kramaric has it. Looking for Pasalic. Dykes gets in the way. Breaks back to Kramaric though. And then he goes back into the centre circle for Shutalo, who plays it short back to Chaleta Tsar. So again, Scotland shape pretty well. coming under a bit of pressure. And see the runs that in particular we're seeing from Sucic and from Kramaric so far. Really clever players.
Yeah, they are, because you've got Sosa and Perisic holding their width, so they're stretching the game. It's given Ralston and Robertson something else to think about, because they have to go and then step inside to Kramaric and Sucic are picking up these inside positions.
Sucic has it wide on the right, gets a low ball to the edge of the area. Kramaric sets himself, he's onto his right, he shoots, blocked by Hanley, breaks back to Kramaric and Scotland get it away. Picked out here by Christie's, stretching his legs, driving across the halfway line, again relieving the pressure on the Scotland defence at the same time as he checks his run and turns it back to Robertson. 0-0, 23.
It's great positioning again. Kramaric, I think if he makes his mind up early and gets his shot away quicker, then we could have been in a bit of bother. But both defenders getting down the line, I think it actually comes off John Suter's face. But sometimes you have to do that. And again, what's the reaction to that? You win the ball back. Ryan Christie's driving forward, getting Scotland up the pitch, allowing a little bit of control where it's comfortable in possession for Scotland. But you're doing it. It's going across the back line at the minute, but the team is getting further up the pitch, so it's been good. The reactions to losing the ball, giving up chances has been very good, and then building these attacks has been quite impressive.
Here's Ben Doak picking up on this near side, rolling it infield to McTominay. Modric tries to get back at him. McTominay feeds it out wide left for Christie, looks up, gets the cross in, but Dykes couldn't quite get the jump on the defender. It was Gvardiol, he was between Gvardiol and Chileta-Tsar there. Difficult for Dykes to win that battle when it's the two of them. One of them difficult enough, but he couldn't quite get into the position where he was going to be able to head for goal, and it comes out for a throw in on this near side.
Yeah, it's a dangerous cross into an area where Lyndon Dykes is, he wants it. He's trying to pay off the back of Chileta-Tsar in between Gvardiol, which he does, but he's then thinking about having to try and wrestle to find the space, and Christie maybe puts it in just a split second too early for him, where he can't quite free himself. But it's a dangerous delivery, and it's one where if Ben Doak can go and really push on and get in at that back post as well, because Lyndon Dykes so aggressive in the air, it could occupy Gvardiol and allow Doak to then sneak in at that back post and get himself a chance to score.
Zlatko Dalic down there, the Croatian coach, took this team to the World Cup final, finished third in Qatar in the subsequent World Cup. As they come forward down the right again with Perisic getting it from Sucic, gives it back to the Real Sociedad man, he lifts the ball in towards the back post, and it's a really important header from Ralston. He was being fouled as well, so he's going to get a free kick. Really good brave defending by Ralston. He had to get there because Sosa's in behind him, and Sosa gets onto that ball. He's potentially putting the Croatians 1-0 up there. We played 25 and a half goalless in Zagreb.
Yeah, it's a great header. Ralston, he has to go in, as I was speaking about with Kramaric. Ben Doak is there with Sosa, but I think Sosa's actually got the run on him. He's at full stretch, running backwards. Ralston, no idea that he's going to have to take a hit here, but doesn't care. And Sosa, just bumps into him. But it's good defending again. As I said, when the ball's on the other side, both full and centre backs have been alert to that and make sure that they're tucked in, they're narrow, but they're aware that they have to go and defend the situation behind them as well.
Craig Gordon with the free kick then. He's kept 32 clean sheets in his 75 previous caps as Craig Gordon. As the flag was up here from that long ball, and the Scotland players straight into an offside position as Modric. He's got Doak all over him and Dykes, and the ref's giving him a free kick there. They managed to win it back off Modric. And he takes the free kick quickly with the right foot out to the left-hand side here for Gvardiol. The second most expensive defender in football history, Josip Gvardiol. The most expensive, Harry Maguire, who made the move to Manchester United from Leicester. Gvardiol was signed from Leipzig by Manchester City. As it's turned back the way to Modric, and then into the centre circle, Chileta-Tsar, who we saw at Ibrox in the Europa League just over a week ago. Leon ran amok at the home of Rangers in that soul-sapping week for the two Glasgow sides in European competition, as Modric lifts it down the right for Perisic, turns it back the way to Sucic, and then to Modric. First time ball There from Pasalic, back to Modric, out to Perisic on that right-hand touchline, midway inside the Scotland half. Gets it worked forward there to Kramaric, can't control, Scotland clear. Now it's with McTominay. Then to Christie and back down the line for Robertson. And then to Gordon. But this is what you want, 27 and a half in, up against one of the top-ranked nations in Europe. Scotland have come away from home. It's a tough assignment, this one, as Dykes wins a free kick in the centre circle. And because they haven't conceded, they've been able to bed themselves into this game. And when they have, in the occasion they have been in possession, they've looked pretty comfortable.
Yeah, it's been patient, and I think, you know, given the run that everybody's aware of, run of results, and you know the kind of criticism that's come their way, it's really impressive that they've managed to remain so patient.
Couldn't quite keep the ball down the right in play there, and it goes behind, albeit I think might well have been an offside just before that, so it's going to be a free kick a little bit further up the pitch, just outside the box, which is taken by Pasalic, and he's found Sutalo. Low side football forward for Sucic, and then out to Perisic. He shifts it back to the edge of the box there for Chaleta Tsar, who finds Guardiol. He rolls it with the left foot forward there to Kramaric, first time. Under pressure from Gilmore, he gives it back to Chaleta Tsar. He plays it to Sutalo, and then out to the touchline for Ivan Perisic. Scored in that World Cup semi-final. It was the equaliser against England. The winner came from Mandzukic. As Perisic picks it up again on that right-hand side against Pasalic. Perisic, a dreadful ball straight to McTominay, but he wins it back immediately. It's opened up for him as well. He disguises the ball, turning it to his right, getting it back from Pasalic. Rolls it out to the left-hand side of the box. Sosa's ball in is picked up on the penalty spot by Kenny McLean. He controls, comes out of his penalty area, knocks it out to Doak on this near side. Doak driving forward, he's got it through to Dykes. Better touch, he might have been able to shift it through to McTominay. I think the Scotland fans feel that of Scotland, he's getting some support on the left hand side of the box for Kramaric, goes into the area, shoots a goal. Gordon makes the save, headed away by Robertson on the 6-yard line. Pasalic loses out to Gilmore. His clearance goes straight to Modric, rolls it into the box. Sucic back out wide right there for Perisic, bends the ball in with the left foot, the header's wide, big chance. Possibly the best chance of the game for Croatia. Just those two opportunities there. Sosa involved with the second. He's flashed his header well wide of the left-hand post. But really good play by Kramaric, testing Craig Gordon, and the goalkeeper stood up to it.
Yeah, and that's one where we speak about the fullbacks. They have to tuck in, they have to be narrow, and the ball's on the other side of the pitch. It's on the right-hand side for Croatia. And Ben Doak switches off a little bit, allowing Sosa to get the run. I think he just does enough, maybe a little nudge just to put Sosa off, who goes flying into the back of Anthony Ralston. But it's something where, because the fullbacks are so narrow, Doak and Christie have to be switched on, you know, at all times, because that deep cross is something that Croatia are trying to exploit on Scotland in the fullback area. So the wide men need to be switched on.
Well, the wins need to start coming for Scotland if they're going to avoid dropping into pot 3 for those World Cup qualifying matches, which will take place next year. The draw is being made at the end of this Nations League group campaign. Scotland win it back in the midfield. Here's McTominay across halfway. Doak flying down the right hand side. He's onto it now. Low ball from McTominay. Doak looks up at the box to see what's in there. He's skipping into the area now. Little chip ball, but it's behind a couple of players. Christie keeps it alive, and it's in! Scotland score! Ryan Christie with it! Croatia couldn't prevent it from crossing the line. It all comes from the positivity of Ben Doak. Ryan Christie picks it up left-hand side of the 6-yard area, and he's managed to squeeze it home. He's got something when it comes to scoring in this neck of the woods, having netted in Belgrade in that playoff final. He scores in Zagreb. It's Croatia 0, Scotland 1.
It's an excellent finish from Ryan Christie. Ben Doak down the right-hand side. It looks like he's going to flash it across. Goal, Dykes is in there, but he doesn't. Little step over onto the left foot. It's actually not a brilliant cross from Doak, and it's a huge error, but Ryan Christie's alert. Livakovic comes out quick to him. I think he just knocks it through his legs. Recovering defender, Chaleta Tsar can't keep it out. Brilliant goal. not the prettiest, but what a goal for Scotland.
We're just waiting to see if the VAR check is all good before the game gets back underway, which it does now. Scotland lead in Zagreb. Willie Miller's watching this in the studio, and that was just brilliant from Doak, so positive.
It was, yeah. I agree with Fadi. I don't think the cross was that great. Again, you felt at the time that maybe the flashing the ball across the face was the right one, but he checks back and he puts a dreadful by the Croatian defender, and Ryan Christie, shows good composure to finish it. So yeah, I mean, they've been in the game throughout. I think it's been a good performance. They haven't been tested in too many occasions. Maybe Kramaric in both occasions having the shot and the Sosa header, but apart from that, I think it's been really positive. And of course, getting that first goal is so important.
7th international goal for Ryan Christie. 1-0 Scotland. They've been here twice before to play Croatia. They're unbeaten. 1-1 draw under Craig Brown. Kevin Gallagher scored the Scotland goal. It was a very good result, 1-1. Alan Boksic had given the Croatians the lead. And then that Robert Snodgrass goal as they won 1-0, but it came after their hopes of qualifying for the World Cup in Brazil had already been dashed. But here in the Nations League, Ryan Christie has given Steve Clark a 1-0 lead. One of the most notoriously difficult places to get a positive result in Europe. Just 7 times Croatia have been beaten here in competitive games, but here they come forward again. Up to the edge of the box, Croatia. It's laid back to Pasalic. Squares it to Modric.
I think that's what's been impressive. Obviously, the foundation is defence.
There's a big switch out to Perisic. Turns it back, low ball. There's the equaliser. It's fired home low, first time with the right foot into the bottom left by Matanovic. And Croatia almost instantly are back on level terms. Really good finish by the Eintracht Frankfurt player. And there was nothing Craig Gordon could do about that. Scotland pegged back immediately. It is Croatia 1, Scotland 1.
Yeah, I was just speaking about how well Scotland have done defensively, particularly with those switches of play. It's a narrow cross, little switch of play. Gets in behind Andy Robertson this occasion, and it's a lovely little set back, step onto it and finish it. I wonder if it just took a nick on the way beyond Craig Gordon, but into the side netting, and all the positivity of being solid defensively, understanding that Croatia are looking to try and hit those little diagonals, trying to exploit the spaces because they're playing with the two. I don't really want to call them wing backs. They're just in that back three, the two wider players, because they're not playing as defenders, they're wingers, allowing Kramaric and Sucic to come inside, and that's where they know the space is always going to be in Scotland. Up until that point had dealt with it really well, but it's that persistence from Croatia, that quality as well, and that's a sore thing, because up until that point Scotland had defended those situations very well.
It's a first international goal for Igor Matanovic, and Willie Miller watching in the studio. The Scotland lead didn't last long.
It didn't, Liam. It didn't. Really positive start, getting the lead, but giving up a goal like that, the crossfield pass, Andy Robertson maybe switching off a little bit as well. But it's a good finish. It's a really accurate finish from Matanovic, isn't it? Right across the face. Couple of defenders sliding in, and maybe Ralston should have done it a little bit better perhaps in trying to block it, but it sneaks in at that back corner, so it's a huge blow and a big setback.
He plays in Germany. He was born in Germany, Matanovic. Played youth football for the Germans, switched in 2022. He's got 2 and 8 for Eintracht Frankfurt this season. Just added to that with his first senior goal for his country. Croatia have it as deep as they can get it. Livakovic rolls it out to Modric, left of the box, given away. Would you believe that? Here's Ralston. His cross is blocked by Modric. Breaks to Doak. Fires it back out to Ralston on this near side. Up against Modric. His cross is cut out by Gvardiol this time, and out for a throw-in level with the Croatia penalty spot for Scotland on this near side. And they've proven they can come here and score tonight, so effectively back to where we were 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, it's not a time obviously to panic, as you say. Back level, a lot of good stuff in the game. It just shows you that you have to remain switched on at all times. because Croatia do have that quality, and it's certainly a theme. They're trying to
given away, and McLean's been hauled back by Perisic just outside the penalty area, but level with the edge of the D. It's a yellow card for the veteran. I don't think he's complaining, but I don't think he can complain about that. It looked like a professional foul every day of the week as he hauled McLean down. Again, it's another careless pass, unforced error by Croatia out of defence.
Yeah, and look, I think it's Scotland are trying to go and press at certain times, and when they do, at times Croatia are then missing that press and getting at the Scotland backline. But as has been shown, if they do it right, they're forcing mistakes. You're winning the ball 20-25 yards from goal. I totally agree with you. Perisic, I don't know what he's complaining at. He just pulls him to the ground because he's beyond them. And this is a decent opportunity. I wonder if they'll whip something, or if someone will take a shot. It looks like they're going to try and work it. I would expect McTominay, if he was standing over it, he would go straight for goal.
Yeah, he's going towards the back post. He wants on the end of this. Opportunity for Scotland. Will it be Robertson or Gilmour? It's Robert.
Beyond them, and this is a work it. I would expect McTominay, if he was standing over it, he would go straight for goal.
Yeah, he's going towards the back post. He wants on the end of this. Opportunity for Scotland. Will it be Robertson or Gilmour? It's Robertson, and it comes to the back post indeed, and slid behind for the corner by Gvardiol. There's another really good ball in there, and Scotland have got many in that team who are capable of producing that kind of quality with cross balls.
Yeah, it's a strange one because it's clearly McTominay's the target. He's come from the discussion, made his way around the back, and that is the target. But no one else really went for it. If you go and attack that area, you've got a great chance to put it in the back of the net, because it bends it round the defence. Andy Robertson.
He's going to take this corner, the captain, left-footed, in-swinger. Perisic attacks it and hits it back out for a throw-in down by the corner flag on this near side. Robertson looking to take it quickly, and McLean wants it. He's getting it now, faced now by Modric. McLean, the big cross ball to the left-hand side of the box is headed clear by Croatia. Breaks back to Lyndon Dykes though. Moves it to Gilmour, who goes down. No free kick. Scotland fans wanted one. Croatia have it back with Perisic over on that right-hand side. Dinks it into the midfield. Pasalic chests it on to Kramaric. Now with Modric. Left-hand side of the pitch here. Out to the touchline for Sosa. Taking on Ralston. Infield to Modric. Looks to get it out to the right-hand side of the box. Perisic with a header. Robertson trying to see it behind for the goal kick. Perisic knocks it off Robertson. And it's eventually gone behind for the corner. Robertson saying it's a goal kick. It is one apiece in Zagreb. We played almost 41.
Yeah, I couldn't see. It's too far away, Liam, to see whether it does come off Andy Robertson. But interesting if that did lead to a goal. It did look like a foul on Billy Gilmour, I think, in the edge of the Croatia box. It'd be interesting to see if that was long enough to take it back.
We only lament that really if Croatia take advantage of this corner kick, which has been taken short to Modric. Gets it back to Sušić, gets the cross ball in, it's low, it's blocked by McLean, and the flag's gone up on the far side, so free kick to Scotland. But you always worry when you see players with the quality of Sušić and Modric picking the ball up outside your penalty area. It's a difficult situation when you see that, but they've dealt with it pretty well tonight so far, Scotland, as we towards the half-time interval. The only player who's probably not involved tonight for Croatia, who otherwise would have been, is Mateo Kovacic of Manchester City. He's out injured. He would have probably started this one, but it's pretty much Croatia's strongest team out there tonight.
Yeah, and look, you can see their quality. Kovacic is a huge player for them as well. Excellent, top-level player. So you're always going to miss a player, with that quality. But Scotland have dealt with that really well.
Gvardiol with a header. Ben Doak chasing it down on this near side. Sosa back to Gvardiol. Dykes closing him down. It's back to Livakovic, the keeper, on the 6-yard line. With Dykes hovering around, he rolls it to the right there for Shutalo. And then back to Livakovic. Looks up, long right foot ball forward up towards the halfway line. Hanley wins the header. They're ahead of the Croatian goal scorer Matanovic. Christie gave Scotland the lead as it goes out for a throw-in. Matanovic with the equaliser within 3 minutes. Croatia throw-in over on the far side. Perisic takes it and bowls it back the way to Shutalo. And it's now a play for Scotland throw-in, so Scotland ball on the far side's obviously crossed the line. It will be a throw to be taken by Robertson midway inside the Croatia half. Can Scotland get their lead back before the break? Robertson trying to roll it infield to Christie. It's cut out though, and now it's with Luka Modric. Flicks it with the outside of the boot, but he can't find a teammate. Gilmour's onto it, and then Robertson tries to switch to Doak. He's done well, the two Liverpool players, albeit Doak at Middlesbrough on loan. It's a chip ball into the box, easy for Livakovic to hold on. He's trying to get it on the head of McTominay, Dykes or Christie, and it stays Croatia 1, Scotland 1. But here come the hosts down the right with Perisic. With a pitch to work in here. Robertson out of position. Perisic has it, slowed it down. He's at the right angle of the box, flicks it into the area for Sucic. Can't get anything on it, and Gordon comes and claims, and it stays Croatia 1, Scotland 1 in Zagreb.
Yeah, I mean, Ben Doak is not the best of crosses, but you can't be too critical because you know exactly what he's trying to do, and that's what happens for young players with wide players. That as long as they're seeing, you can see what they're trying to do. They had great options, Dykes, McTominay, and Christie, and he just chokes on it a little bit as he puts it in. But you can't criticise him.
He looks brilliant tonight.
He does. He looks sharp.
Like he could really be what's been missing for Scotland, and probably since Ryan Fraser and seen James Forrest withdrew from the squad. He's another gives him that option as McTominay is brought to the ground by Sucic, and that's going to be a free kick. He's felt the force of that. McTominay. He's just getting himself back to his feet now. And it's a free kick here as we head towards the half-time whistle. It's not far off now. We're well into the 45th minute.
Yeah, Doak, it's the willingness to take people on, and I know some people say, oh well, do it in the right area, but the ability to then take pressure off the team and drag the team up the pitch. Don't always have to create a chance or everything needs to look good, but he takes his touch, his awareness is really good. He knows when to take it inside, when to go outside, and when he gets into that final third, look, you can't get it right every single time, but he is a threat, and it's great to see.
1 minute of stoppage time, we're into it. Gilmour with the free kick this time, and he can't find anyone, and it sails behind for the goal kick. So we're into the solitary euphoria that followed the 0-0. The view to the World Cup is by topping your section. Croatia on the ball with Chaleta Tsar, but final few seconds of the first half, the ref's checked his watch, and he blows the half-time whistle here in Zagreb. Scotland led through Christie. It was a scrappy finish. He did just enough to force it over the line despite the defender's best efforts. His 7th international goal on cap number 55 for the Indonesian, and Scotland were in front, but within 3 minutes they were pegged back, and Matanovic with his first international goal in his 3rd cap stroked it home into the bottom left corner. Ben Doak's been exciting to watch tonight. He really has. He's harassed when he's not been on the ball. When he's had it, he's looked a player of grace and skill, and that's exactly what the Scotland team needs. They've dug in, they've defended pretty well. It's another game that's going to go by without a clean sheet though, and that is the only smudge on what has been a pretty good away performance against a top level operator in Croatia. Half time in the Maximir in Zagreb is Croatia 1, Scotland 1.
Scotland in the UEFA Nations League.
Live on Sports Sound.
From BBC Radio Scotland.
There's no substitute.
You're listening to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland with me, Kenny McIntyre. We've been joined in the studio by our news colleague, Craig McMurran. Craig, with a special news report.
The former First Minister of Scotland, Alex Salmond, has died at the age of 69. The Labour Party leader was giving a speech in North Macedonia this morning. It's understood he died a short time after the event. He dominated Scottish politics for more than a decade, taking the SNP into government at Holyrood and becoming the party's First Minister. He led the campaign for Scottish independence after securing a referendum in 2014, but resigned from the post after losing 45% to 55%. And we'll bring you a full update on this breaking news just before Off the Ball.
Thank you to Craig McMurran. Yes, that's at 7 o'clock when the game has concluded in Zagreb. As Craig said, there'll be more on that breaking news. Thanks to our news colleague Craig McMurran. I'm in the studio here in Glasgow alongside Leanne Crichton, Willie Miller and Tom Inglis. Leanne, your thoughts on what we've just witnessed in the first half there in Zagreb?
I think it's been a fairly decent account from Scotland, if I'm being honest, all over the pitch. I mean, I'm looking at the stats in front of me just now. Croatia 60% ball possession, Scotland 40. I don't think you would have expected anything else going away to Croatia with the quality that they've got on their side. They kind of huffed and puffed it in a few moments, then they break the deadlock, which is brilliant. It's always the case in games like this where it's so tight as well. You just hope that you can kind of hang on and steady the ship and control the game for a little bit longer before Croatia managed to strike back almost immediately, which again they've got the quality to do that. Fadi's touched on it in commentary. They've been searching for those balls in behind Scotland, the diagonal ball to the back area in between kind of centre back and full back, and that was where they managed to kind of find there. Good bit of play from that levels the game, but overall I think Scotland can be fairly pleased with how they've performed in that 45.
Very disappointing, Willie, to lose the goal so quickly after we scored. Yeah. But what positives have you taken from that first half?
Well, lots of positives, I would suggest. I think the shape has been good. I think the start, the first, maybe 10 minutes or so, you're just trying to make sure that you're not giving anything away. And they didn't. They restricted Croatia to very, very few chances. In fact, looked probably more threatening going forward than the home side did. And to get the goal, listen, I think Doak has been good. I think he's been positive. He's a ball carrier, but he wants to take on defenders. The decision making, I even think the decision making, the first chance he got, he should have flashed it across the face of the goal, in my opinion. The second chance he should have done the same, but he puts it on his left and puts it to the back post, and the defender just has a swipe at it. I don't know what he's thinking about, and it falls for Christie. So the decision making in that situation was right, although I didn't support it initially, and we get the lead, and probably, although they've had plenty of the ball, I don't think they've done too much with it. I'm looking at Kramaric has had a couple of opportunities shot that's blocked, and then there was the Sosa header as well that maybe he should have done better with. But other than that, I'm not seeing too much from Croatia that will fear Scotland. But to lose the goal so quickly after taking the lead is a huge blow. It's a good goal from Matanovic. I think Andy Robertson should have done better. They should have been more alert at the back post. They have been trying the diagonal balls on a number of occasions, but it's a very good finish, and not a lot you could do about it. We were looking at it in replay, and there was, Scotland players, two of them trying to slide in and get a block on it, and Ralston didn't really make an effort. Maybe if he did, he might have got a block on it. But I still think it's been a good first half for Scotland. I think it's been positive, a lot of positive aspects to it. 1-1 away from home isn't a bad result. If it finished that way, I think it still isn't a bad result. But obviously a disappointing aspect of it is that you take the lead and then you give it up so quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, lots of positive things, as Willie said, Tom, to take from that first 45.
Definitely, yeah. Like, I think for a team that hasn't won won 1 in 14 and would have been low in confidence, I think this is a confident Scotland performance. Mm-hmm. They're not overawed at all. They're giving as good as they're getting, I think. It was a shame. I think it was 203 seconds. It was between the two goals. Shame. Like to have seen them hold on for a bit longer than that. But Croatia, it's not like Croatia are peppering Craig Gordon's goal. It's not like anyone is being done repeatedly for pace out wide, ripped apart, sliced open. It's not that type of game. I think Scotland are defending pretty well. I think they're competing very well, and I'm very encouraged by that.
He'll be quite content, won't he, the manager, Leanne? He'll not be looking to change anything, will he?
No, I wouldn't have thought so. Looking at a number of the chances, just we're getting kind of replays that are kind of playing through just in the studio in front of us just now, and Ryan Christie had a good chance outside the box, and he goes at it with his left foot. I think he needs to take it on with his right. Billy Gilmour had a good strike, just found the hands of the goalkeeper. And you just think Steve Clarke will be wanting the players that arrive in the right areas. They're picking up these second balls, but you've got to be more clinical. You need to be more ruthless, especially in a game like this where the chances might be few and far between. But certainly between the sides, there's not an awful lot. I mean, Croatia, they've edged at 6-5 in terms of shots. It's 2 each in relation to shots on target. I think you come out, you look for consistency in the performance. Tom touched on the stats earlier, the amount of late goals that Scotland have lost. So what he wants from his side is a 90-minute plus performance, that you don't cave in at 85 minutes and you concede a 2-1 or whatever the scoring goes in the game. So I think Scotland, for me, need to come out with the ambition to get the next goal. I think a draw would be a good result, but I don't see us being able to hold out against Croatia in terms of them pushing to win the game as the game goes on in the form that Scotland have shown. So I would like us to go and at least take a 2-1. I would take a 2-2 draw, but I think the manager will want a bit more for his middle to front players. When we look at Doak, he's had a couple of really bright moments. Willie touched on it, he's come inside the pitch, the left foot delivery that leads to the goal, not a great cross, but I would much rather see him just get to the byline and just fizz it across. It's so difficult to defend against Scotland on every occasion that I'm looking at in terms of the positive play. There's good numbers there inside the penalty area. If anything, you force Croatia just to defend. Mistakes can happen and the ball can end up in the back of the net, or you just put it in an area that you expect your players to be in the next instance. A couple of times he's trying to pick players out that are just not quite where he would like them to be, but there's been a lot of positives, as you mentioned, Kenny, and I think Steve Clarke will want much the same.
I think I'm watching the replay. I don't know what Susic is thinking about when it comes to his left foot there. I mean, the Ben Doak cross, look, it's an easy one to clear. You know, I mean, side foot and away up the park. You don't have to swipe at it like that. So, you know, what I was trying to say is, for me, and same as Leanne, I think Doak should go to the line and flash it across, but he's took it on his left foot, he's curled it in, and he's got a bit of good fortune from the defender, and it's fallen not perfectly, I would say. There's still a lot of work to do for Ryan Christie.
He did well, didn't he,
Christie?
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, he's so raw, Doak, isn't he? I mean, he just gives us something a bit different. He's great to watch. We touched on this before, the buzz around Hampden when he come on, but he just looks to be a different option for the manager right now. He gives us something, doesn't he?
Doak.
Aye.
Yeah, he does. He's unpredictable. He's got incredible pace. He's got this innocence and this fearlessness, which is, I'd say, it's a menace for gnarled old defenders to be dealing with.
How do you read them? You can't.
No,
exactly.
There are players like that. And you know, you haven't seen enough of him either to understand what his strengths are and which way he's going to go in certain circumstances. So you're right, Tom.
So we have to tell he probably doesn't know where he's going to go himself.
Yeah, probably doesn't.
You know, so, and it's that kind of youthful kind of abandon that can be troublesome for defenders. I think he's settled in. He's not overawed at all, is he?
No, he doesn't.
He's a very confident lad.
He doesn't sound like a person that does get overawed. You know, what he does know that he's going to do, though, is he's going to go forward and he's going to take defenders on, and he's going to try to make it difficult for defenders to defend, which is what you don't want to see if you're a defender. If you're a Scotland supporter, as we all are, then exactly what you want to see. And he carries the ball for you as well. He gets up the park too. It's been refreshing from him.
What about our defensive shape? Are you happy with that? It stood up quite well.
Look, I think it's been okay other than the goal. I think it's just that lapse in concentration. Willie mentioned that Andy Robertson could perhaps do better. I think Tony Ralston, if he anticipates it and realises that he has to go and defend the goal rather than defend any player inside the box, because the only thing that's going to happen is the player's going to pull the trigger and go for goal. He almost just tracks the ball and leaves the player, and it ends up in the back of the net. So I think that those are the fine margins for me, that if you defend with all your energy, those are the types of goals that you can prevent. And I think that's the wee lapse in concentration and just a defensive structure that Scotland they've been probed more often than not in the run of games that Tom mentioned. When you think back to what that defensive record had been through the period in the build up to the Euros and before that, defensively we were so strong, and I know there's players missing, but I just think that we can still do better, you know, and it's that defensive nature and really trying to think about defending the goal. Other than that, across the pitch, I think player for player it's been good. Limited Croatia as well. They've not had too many clear-cut chances, and up top we've carried a threat. So all in all, it's been pretty good.
It's a little bit like, you know, the late goals that you lose. You know, it's about concentration, it's about understanding the circumstances you're in. So, you know, to constantly lose late goals, there is something wrong with the mentality of the players in terms of, listen, you know, at least we've got something for this game, so we've got to make sure that we're keeping it tight. And you would think that would be communicated along the back four. And it's the same when you lose a goal. The next 5 minutes are important. The next attack's important. And I just felt that Andy, I don't know, he was ball watching, Andy, and it's
was
diagonals coming over the top, and then that set up the opportunity. Whereas, really, when you get that goal, the defence should be, on red alert to make sure that they're solid at the back, and unfortunately, that wasn't the case.
At least I'm taking some comfort from Modric that he's been good, he's been decent, but he hasn't been Modric. He's not bossing this game completely. He's not playing these passes that are cutting through the heart of the Scotland defence. He may well yet do that, but as of now, he's been pretty well marshalled. And it's again, when I go back to that word you just used a second ago, concentration. Scotland have to stay concentrated for the rest of the game.
Full second half commentary to come. We started off today at 2 o'clock. We brought you updates from the championship game at Firhill. Partick Thistle 1, Falkirk 1. Also, we had 2 games covered in the 4th round of the Challenge Cup. It was Dunfermline 2, Celtic Hearts 1, Airdrie 1, East Kilbride 1. East Kilbride going through on penalties. The 2 games we were at, Ayr United 2, Peterhead 1. Livingston beat Inverness Cally Thistle on penalties. Now it's a big story going on at Cally Thistle right now. I know there's some fans down at the game today. You'll be on the way back up the road. So here's an interview with the manager, Duncan Ferguson.
Duncan, how do you sum up that fighting and spirited performance from your side?
Well, you've just summed up, haven't you? So I thought that was the case. I thought we were absolutely fantastic first half, particularly really good. To come in and score a couple of goals and look the threat, I think with a good shape about us. They're a very good team, aren't they? Second half, obviously, we had to weather a storm, didn't we? We sat back a wee bit. But we did take chances in the first 5-10 minutes of the second half. There was quite a few chances that we had. Other than that, we defended really well. Well pleased with the lads, and to come away with a draw. Coming here, they've only conceded 3 goals in the league the whole season, so we took 2 off them today. So I'm absolutely delighted. Unfortunately, we couldn't get it done in the penalties.
For a bit aside as well, you mentioned Olivia have not been conceding goals. Last few games not really been scoring either, so getting that back into your team as well.
I think we all thought it was going to be a 0-0 or something, it had a 1-0. But no, I was delighted to come away from home and score 2 goals. I thought they took goals very well. First one particularly was a lovely cross in for Lou Longstaff, and Paul arrived in the box with a lovely header. And then the second one was a set play. And we've not scored many set plays this season, but we showed a bit of aggression, didn't we? So I was absolutely delighted with the performance for the team, and such a young team in the end we had on. So not delighted.
To have that kind of performance when there's everything going on in the background as well, what is the mentality like for your players in that group right now?
Well, I think it shows how the group is together and how they're fighting for me and they're fighting for the club. I mean, we're very good today. I think most people would have thought we'd come down and get turned over quite comfortably. And they're flying high in the Championship. We're struggling in League One. So, no, but I thought we're very good. But I think our performance has been very good of late. We did really well last week against Arbroath. We should have beat them 3 or 4. And I think we're continuing that on. But today we stuck the ball in the net.
Yeah, Duncan Ferguson there. Very difficult times for the club in the Highlands. More news to come this week. I can see the players are back out in Zagreb. So far, so good for Steve Clarke's team. Let's hope we can build on that encouraging first half performance. Let's get back to our commentary team of James McFadden and Liam McLeod.
It will be Croatia to get the second half underway. He's noticed there, Ben Doak, born on the 11th of November 2005, a day after Craig Gordon earned his 14th cap for Scotland against the United States in a friendly, a 1-1 draw. James to my right came off the bench in that one, so that just shows you got Craig Gordon at 41, Ben Doak 18, playing in the same side tonight for Scotland. Croatia are going to make what looks like one change at the start of the second half, and they're going to take off Pasalic, and they've brought on Petar Sucic, who is the cousin of Luka Sucic, who started the game. And Croatia get the second half underway, left to right in their all blue with red and white flashes. Scotland in their change colours of pale blue with purple, and it comes all the way back to Craig Gordon. So no changes for Scotland at the start of the second half, and Petar Sucic has come on. He's 20, plays his club football here in the Maximir with Dinamo Zagreb, and he's come on for Atalanta's Pasalic. And here is the Croatia goal scorer driving forward, Matanovic out to this right hand side for Perisic, well challenged by Ryan Christie. Scotland with Gordon in goal, Ralston, Suter, Hanley and Robertson, Gilmer and McLean, Doak, McTominay, Christie and Dykes. And Croatia with Livakovic in goal, Šutalo, Chileta Tsar and Bardiol at the back, Perisic, Sosa Or wide, Modric now in the middle with Petar Sucic, Luka Sucic, Matanovic, Kramaric. As the Croatia team, Scotland right to left as we watch from the main stand. Craig Gordon defending, or keeping the goal, with the Tartan Army behind him, albeit they're a fair distance away. There used to be a running track round this pitch here, this ageing artefact of a stadium. And as Chaleta Tsar goes long, looking for Perisic, but he's well off target, and it comes all the way through to Craig Gordon. Even if this run without wins continues tonight, if Scotland get a draw in Zagreb, that will do their confidence the world of good.
Yeah, I think a draw is a positive result. I think you add that to, if the performance level is maintained throughout this second half, then you could say it's been a pretty good evening. I think that, you know, it is a poor run, but when you're up against, you know, opposition of this calibre, then coming here and getting a draw is by no means a poor result. I think it's a very good result, but I think the game's there for Scotland to win it. If they can, you know, be aware that, you know, those little cross balls, trying to get, you know, beyond the fullbacks from the narrow cross balls, snuff them out and still carry that threat going forward, then this game can be won from Scotland.
Robertson down the left-hand touchline for Christie. Under serious pressure, he's done well to work it back to his captain. Robertson spinning away from Luka Sucic and playing it short to Suter. He goes out to Ralston on the far side. And back with John Suter. Every time his international career looks as though it's going to take off, he picks up an injury, because he is somebody that you would have expected to have won a lot more caps than he ultimately has. As Christie picks up a loose ball in the midfield, he's done well. He got it back actually from Dykes, but he's run into trouble, and it's Luka Sucic, or Petar Sucic rather, who wins it back and plays it to Shutalo, who moves it into Modric in the midfield. Modric with the outside of the boot, and it's in the midfield with Gilmore, and now it's with Christie. Moves it back into his own half for Grant Hanley. Robertson has it, plays it short onto the halfway line for McLean. McLean's got Robertson on the touchline. He elects to go back the way instead. Low ball to Suter, just outside the centre circle. He's launched that one high out towards Ben Doak. Not the ideal ball for Doak, to be fair, but it's headed away straight into the midfield. Scotland pick up with Ralston. Back to McLean on the halfway line. And out to the left-hand side here for Robertson, rampaging forward, gets a good early ball in. Dykes threw a leg out at it, couldn't get a touch, and it was behind for the goal kick. Ben Doak's claiming it came off the defender. I think it was Chaleta Tsar who was with Lyndon Dykes as he stretched to try and get onto that Robertson ball. And a fabulous delivery from Andy Robertson.
Yeah, it is. It's Robertson, you know, down that left side again. Lyndon Dykes holds his position, then gambles to the front post to make that run across the defender. And he does well, you have to say, Chaleta Tsar, to make sure that Dykes doesn't get too much on it. He does get the outstretched leg. It looked to me like Dykes got the touch that took it, you know, beyond towards that back post area. But it's another, you know, good half opportunity there for Scotland. Good delivery from Andy Robertson.
Here's Modric in an advanced position out to the left. Sosa level with the Scotland 18-yard line. Skipping in fields away from a couple of challenges, but runs into McTominay, who wins it back for Scotland. And McTominay taking it forward out to that right-hand side, trying to keep it in play, and trying to win the throw-in at least. It's actually gone against him though. The Croatia throw, which Sosa takes quickly and bowls it back to Chaleta Tsar. Now Petar Sucic turns it out to Perisic on this near side. Chip ball forward, which is nodded away by Robertson, controlled in the left knee by McLean, and he wins the throw-in of Petar Sucic on this near side.
Yeah, as McTominay's driving forward there, he's got Ben Doak outside him. He's looking for Doak to make the run beyond Vardyal so he can play it in behind. Doak just holds his position and actually deepens off. You just see them having a little conversation there. Doak was you know, it looked like saying he was wanting to, you know, take the ball deep and go out the other side, but McTominay's looking for him to make that run and use that explosive pace that we know he has.
Free kick Scotland. Dykes was fouled by Shutalo on this near side, just on the halfway line, pretty much. So Scotland free kick just calms things down a bit again.
Another note in Ben Doak, I think that we all know that he's rapid, and often you get players that are really quick and maybe don't have as good technical ability, but you can see that he's got that. His first touch is good. It takes him where he wants to go. He can use his pace. And, you know, the final ball, he's 18, that will come, but he gets himself in really good positions to cause problems. You can see there's development in him, but he's got that quality, that awareness as well. Really good first touch.
It is Anthony Ralston who's onto it. John Souttar. The long ball forward, the header on the halfway line by Chaleta Tsar, but he's pushing his man as well. It'll be a free kick for Scotland. It's Dykes in the Wars again. Free kick on the halfway line. It's a massive dragonfly just appeared on my left-hand side. The last time that happened was in Oslo when Scotland beat Norway. Not that it happens that often, that's the only other time it's happened, but this was a big black dragonfly. It was a frightening looking beast. Anyway,
you nearly jumped right on my lap there, Liam.
It was massive. Anyway, Scotland have it with Hanley. Short ball to Gilmore, back to Souttar. Side foot pass forward to McTominay. He'll then shift it over to the right side for Ralston. He goes back to Craig Gordon. Ball short to Hanley and then out to Robertson on the near side. Infield to Gilmore, back to Hanley, squares it along his own penalty area for Souttar. Kramaric trying to close it down. Souttar goes long. It's met by Gvardiol, who throws it forward to Modric, and now Martinovic with a shot. Gordon makes the save. Robertson gets rid of it. It was a awkward looking moment for the Scotland goalkeeper. He's done well in the end as Gilmore comes forward, gets it from Robertson and across the halfway line, out to the left side for Robertson, back to Christie, and then into his own half for Hanley. Christie then so fleet-footed, he's found Billy Gilmore. Side foot ball with the right to the left for Robertson, just outside the Croatia box. His cross cut out by Perisic, and out for a Scotland throw-in level with the Croatian 18-yard line. Bold infield to the Scotland goal scorer Christie. Into Gilmore, back into the centre circle for Souttar. No ball to Ralston, forward to McTominay. Doak on the right-hand touchline. Ralston's on the underlap. McTominay finds Doak into Ralston. He's inside the box, checks onto his right side, tries to pull it back to McTominay, and it's cleared. It looked like that was opening up for Ralston there. We haven't got the best vantage point in the stadium, and it was on the right-hand side of the box when it broke. Just initially, it looked like they were going to be in through Anthony Ralston, but he checked back onto his right side.
Yeah, it's a great response. You know, Croatia had the shot from distance. I think it was Matanovic that has the shot, and then Scotland pick the ball up. Andy Robertson, little 1-2 inside, continues his run, gets the territory, up the pitch, and then when it works out to Ben Doak, it looks like he's going to just whip it in, but he spots the run of Ralston and finds him, and he just can't quite find McTominay.
Scotland giving the ball away to Modric. That's not advisable, but his pass forward's cut out. It's going to break back to Modric here. Flicks it to Perisic, to Modric, right hand side of the box. It is Sucic. He goes back onto his right side, out to Perisic on this right hand side of the box, to Modric, who flights one towards the far corner. Gordon claws it away. Chipped back across by Sosa off the defender and behind for a corner. Well, that was a similar effort from Modric to the goal he scored against Scotland at Hampden at the European Championship in 21. Really good effort from him. It stays one apiece in Zagreb.
That's a tremendous effort. Reverse whip, Craig Gordon might be disappointed that actually doesn't gather it, but it's going to the top corner. Modric showing the quality that it has.
Coming almost 10 into the second half, and Modric is going to take the corner over on the far side. The Croatia left as they attack the goal to the right. Short to Kramaric, back to Modric, fires it to the edge of the area. Sucic tries to whip it towards goal, and what a finish that is! Flag, I think, might have gone up though, but the whistle went just before the second effort there from Luka Sucic. My goodness me, almost took the net off its hoardings. His initial effort was blocked. The referee blew the whistle, I think, before he had the second strike at it. It stays 1-1.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that he's blown the whistle for it, but it's a huge let-off. What a strike it is. The first effort he takes on his left foot first time, and it bounces back to him, and he just hits it with the right foot on the half volley beyond Craig Gordon. Nothing he can do about it. It's an incredible strike, but the whistle had gone. I don't know what for. I have to say, I don't know if there was a foul and Scotland tried to clear the box and get the block in the initial shot, because it was a well-worked routine from Croatia.
Yeah, it's been a difficult few minutes for Scotland. Doak's on it just now, though, as he turns it midway inside his own half for McLean, and out to Robertson on this near side. Rolls it back infield to Grant Hanley, as I mentioned, started the game in 2013. Robert Snodgrass's goal was enough for Gordon Strachan inside. The long ball for Doak to chase. Gvardiol goes out to meet him, but it's with Doak. Dykes is in the middle and wants it. Christie's there too. Doak tries to roll it back to McTominay. Cut out and behind for the corner by Sosa. It's 1-1. It's a really entertaining game, actually.
Yeah, and Scotland have, Croatia have had their opportunities, but what I've liked is the response. Anytime they've got that shot, Scotland have managed to hit back on their own. Ben Doak, the switch of play, gets it in behind using his pace, gets a head up again. Again, maybe could you look to put that cross in? He's trying to find McTominay. Well, no wonder with the goal scoring form that he's in. But it's a really good response again, and that has been the theme of the game.
In swinging corner coming up here from Robertson, bends it into the 6-yard area, just a bit too high for McTominay. Headed away by Gvardiol, picked up by Ralston. He looks to fire it high back out to the right hand side of the box. Christie's on to it, turns it back outside. Robertson's cross is good, the header's wide. What a chance for John Souttar. He's about 7 yards from goal, dead centre of the penalty area, and he's put it past the left hand post, and it stays Croatia 1, Scotland 1 on 57.
When it comes back in, it looks to me as if he's just trying to guide it rather than put power on it. He's up early enough to go and really attack it. I mean, it's not a great ball and he is stretching, but I think that he can get more on it. It's almost like he's trying to just take the sting off it and guide it into the far post instead of going and attacking it and really asking Livakovic, it might be being a bit harsh on him, to make a save, but it looked like he could get more on it than what he actually did.
Well, it's one apiece. The Croatian fans finding their voice. Here's Modric down the left, flicks it with the outside of the left, blocked by Gilmore. Out for a Croatia throw-in over on the far side, level with the edge of the D of the Scotland box. Over there on the Croatian left, Sosa is over the throw, pulls it for Kramaric, nods the header back out to Sosa on that far side. Level the 18-yard line, little ball infield to Modric, gets away from a couple, pulls the ball back, cleared by Souttar at the penalty spot. Picked up by Gvardiol over on that far side. And infield to Kramaric. And he shifts it back the way Petar Sucic, who finds his cousin over on this near side now. He leaves it for Perisic. Turns infield, left foot ball comes in. It's a brilliant ball. Gordon gets the right fist to it. He's done well. Doak manages to pinch it back from Sosa on the far side. And there's an injury problem for Matanovic, who was attacking that ball when it came in. The referee's going to stop play to allow attention to the Croatian starting striker, but I think there's movement on the bench. I think Coach Dalic is going to make at least one change here. In fact, I think it's going to be a couple, but we'll get to that in just a moment. Matanovic is being treated in the Scotland box. It is 1-1 in Zagreb. James McFadden.
Really good, brave goalkeeping from Craig Gordon. There's a little nick just before he gets a hand to it, I think off Souttar, who's at full stretch. Matanovic is coming in, takes a heavy clattering off the Craig Gordon, but it's brave. Probably Craigie actually takes a bigger hit off of Matanovic. Matanovic comes off worse, but really good, brave goalkeeping there.
And you know, it must flash through his mind that incident with Stephen Fletcher at Tannadice when he was out for the year with a broken leg. He's of course had all those injury problems before that. Going into challenges like that, it must flash through his mind. That makes it an even braver bit of goalkeeping.
Well, it has to, because that's what I'm thinking when Craig is into the bodies. You know, because of how horrific the injury was in the collision with Stephen Fletcher, goalkeepers have to go and put themselves, you know, in the line of harm, really, because it is really brave, and when he does it, you're thinking, because of how heavy the contact was as well from Matanovic, that he could, you know, you're just glad to see him get back onto his feet as quick as he did.
Croatia change is coming. Scotland on the ball though, and it's down the left. Christie trying to keep it in play down with the corner flag. He's done so. So Robertson's out there in support. Back to Robertson. A really high deep ball. Dykes nods it back. McTominay trying desperately to get onto it. Flicked away though by Peter Sucic. Gilmour has it at the edge of the box. He's gone down. The referee's not interested though. Gone down clutching the small of his back there, Billy Gilmour. Scotland emerged with it on the far side. I mean, it looked like a foul.
All day long it's a foul.
You don't go down like that if it's not a foul.
No,
it's
a knee.
He went down
it
in
looked
two
like
stages,
it was a knee right in the back.
Yeah. James is getting a chance to look at a replay of it there. I mean, it is a foul.
And it's, by the way, it's right in front of the referee.
Yeah. A dreadful decision. This is a Europa League final referee in charge tonight as well. Croatia got the ball clear. It's ended up out on this left-hand side. Andy Robertson with a throw in. Croatia to make a change. Lukas Sucic is going to come off. Dinamo Zagreb's Martin Materina is going to come on to replace him. This is the man who's been described as the next Modric. He plays his football here, and he's the next great hope. Manchester United apparently among the interested suitors for Baturina, who comes on to earn his 6th cap. Scored his first Champions League goal against Monaco a week past Wednesday for Dinamo. Long ball forward by Craig Gordon, and is eventually mopped up by Gvardiol, who nods it there just to his right for Šutalo. Now to Perisic, it forward into Scotland up Modric. Delicate ball forward, Kramaric giving chase. Ralston defends it well. Gordon trying to prevent the corner. He's done just about enough there. It's flicked off the corner flag on the far side, but it's gone out for a throw-in rather than the corner kick. He's done well there.
Yeah, he sure has, and it's great defending initially from Ralston. Gets in a good position to win it back. I think he can turn and clear it himself. He plays it onto the right foot of Craig Gordon as well, who's telling him to clear it. Bounces off the corner flag, and interestingly they take the throw in about 10 yards deeper than when it actually went out.
For some reason the refs don't care about it if you're going back the way. Anyway, one apiece, 62, almost 63 now, 63 minutes on the clock. It's Robertson dinking it forward on this near side, looking for Christie. Šutalo gets his head onto it. Robertson picks it up on this near side, and then he switches it to Ralston. Scotland in a similar position here to the one they were in Lisbon at 1-1 against Portugal. Ronaldo scored late on. Scotland are coming forward though. Doak, McTominay, right hand side of the box, tries to fire it across, blocked by Chaleta Tsar. Breaks to Doak, lovely shimmy into the box, right hand side, looks to pull it back. Sliding in is Sosa though, and it's cleared up towards Kramaric. Get the ball to Ben Doak as often as you possibly can.
Yeah, absolutely, and the chance is there as well. McTominay makes that run on the right hand side. Lyndon Dykes makes a run expecting him to hit it first time. He takes a touch, and then the gap's gone, the chance is gone. McTominay just fires that across first time. Dykes is in a great position to find the back of the net, but yeah, Ben Doak, he just looks so composed. We mentioned his age and bringing that freshness, and you think that it's going to be even raw because we've not seen a lot of him and the hype surrounding him, but he's making good decisions to hold his position, to run in behind. He's not getting too excited and just rushing things. He's looking really composed, and certainly he's put in a really good performance tonight.
It's back with Hanley inside his own box, squares it to Suter. Suter carrying it outside his penalty area. He scores it back to Grant Hanley, who's winning his 55th cap this evening. Out to Robertson, sweeps it up the line for Christie. One back well there by Šutalo, Ajax defender, into the midfield, Peter Sucic. And then Baturina finds Modric. Modric skipping forward, he's away from McTominay. He's at the edge of the box, he shoots, it's wide! Well, you're just fully expecting the net to bulge there. Modric got that little bit of space, got to the edge of the box. You could see he was shaping to shoot for that far right corner, but he's put it wide of the goal frame, and it stays Croatia 1, Scotland 1 on 65.
It's unbelievable from Modric. Just stepping inside, little nutmeg, gets a slice of luck with a nutmeg and McTominay, and as you say, when he steps in, he just opens his body up. You're expecting him to find the back of the net, but at the very least find the target. Just showing his class once again.
Yeah, he's been more threatening in the second half than he was the first. Here comes Christie trying to do likewise up the other end. Dykes has it, left hand side of the box, another ball in that's blocked, and Modric picks up at the edge of his own penalty area. And going by the reaction of Luka Modric in the wake of that shot, he was fully expecting it to go in as well.
Yeah, I think that everybody in here expected it because of the quality he has. And the interesting thing for me about Modric is he doesn't look slower.
There's a chance for Croatia on the counter. There's a shot which is skied high over the crossbar there by Baturina, who's not long on. And as he picked it up and he fires it high over Craig Gordon's bar, and it remains 1-1 in the Maximir. Another change coming, I think, for Croatia shortly. Dalic keen to win this game. They want to win this group. They know they've got Portugal still to come here as Kramaric picks up the edge of the box. It's a good challenge by Gilmour. He's hurt himself in the process. It's Christie finds McLean, who looks to fire it out to Doak on the far side. Brilliant post control by Ben Doak. Rolls it back infield to McTominay. McTominay under pressure from Sucic, gets it out to Doak on the far side, and he wins the throw in. And it's going to be a double change for Croatia. I think Ante Budimir is going to come on. He's a striker, plays for Osasuna, scored against Getafe in La Liga last weekend. He's going to be one of them to come on, and Bruno Petkovic could be the other. Let's keep an eye on that, and it's going to be a Scotland throw-in midway inside their own half on the right. It's Ralston firing it high back towards Hanley, who chests it back to Craig Gordon. One apiece. We're in the final quarter of the match. I wonder if we can have a little word with Willie Miller. How are you reading this now, Willie?
Well, I think a draw away from home against a nation with the quality of Croatia is a very good result. So if it stays like that, absolutely fantastic. I think being under a little bit more pressure in the second half. I'm still not too sure why that Sucic goal was chalked off, to be perfectly honest. A couple of
William
replays.
going to cut across you. William cutting across you because there was a chance. Baturina knocking it into the penalty area. Matanovic couldn't quite get the shot away at goal. It was out for a throw in this near side. I'll go back to Willie to let him finish off what he was telling us now, because Croatia have gone back to the park.
Yeah, just the Croatia goal. Not too sure why it was not given, but we maybe find that out later. Modric is looking much more like himself in the second half as well, so he is a real threat. I think there's no doubt that Croatia's been a better team in the second half. They've been much better than the first half, and I think if Scotland can hold on, I'm sure Steve Clark will be more than delighted. If they could, hitting the break and get a winner, that would be an absolutely fabulous result.
Croatia though have it in the attacking third. Modric wide on the left. It's played infield to Gvardiol and back out to Modric on the left hand side, spinning away from McTominay. Infield to Sucic, now with Gvardiol, back to Modric. Thought about the big switch to Baturina. Instead he uses Kramaric in the centre of the pitch. Midway inside the Scotland half, out to Baturina, level with the edge of the D on this near side. And then knocked back to Sucic. A little bit harder work for Scotland right now. Just in these last 10-15 minutes. Switch out to this near side is a cushion header from Kramaric. He's going to get it back from Perisic, wide right, gets the cross in. Headed away by Hanley. Defended resolutely this evening, Scotland. So far, it's been a shaky old rear guard over the last 13 months. Coming to this difficult venue to get any kind of positive result, albeit they've been here twice before and emerged with 1-1 draws and a 1-1 draw and a 1-0 victory. Perisic controls on the right hand side, facing Robertson. Drops the shoulder, fires the ball to the left-hand side. The shot saved by Sosa, but Kramaric will head home on the rebound. And Croatia have turned it round. They lead in Zagreb. Gordon did all he could there. But when it dropped to Kramaric, he was not missing. And he nods it into the top right corner of the net for his 30th international goal. And it's Croatia 2, Scotland 1.
Yeah, it's a great save initially from Craig Gordon, and it's that overload on the opposite side again. Ralston has to tuck in, he has to go and make sure there's no gaps, tries to get a block on the initial effort, and Craig Gordon gets his left arm to it. And the good fortune for Croatia is it goes right onto the head of Kramaric, and it's a cool finish. And you have to say that the pressure was building from Croatia. They're getting far more territory in and around the Scotland box, and it's a dagger for Scotland because they have defended well at times.
Yeah, Sosa's effort was saved. And Kramaric was there on the follow-up, and he was just about to come off as well. And he's managed to score before he does so. And he is replaced by Dinamo Zagreb's Bruno Petkovic. And they're also taking off their first goal scorer, Matanovic, and he's replaced by Budimir. Well, I think Willie Miller had just finished speaking there just before Croatia's second goal. That's a hammer blow for Steve Clarke, that, Willie.
Well, it is. The way the second half's been going, Liam, you're looking at it saying if you could come out of this game, with a draw, 1-1 draw, it'd be a fabulous result. We haven't looked at threat going forward in too many occasions in the second half, but Croatia have definitely looked, threatening going forward. They've controlled the second half, really, but that's a hammer blow. Another diagonal ball, maybe another, full-back, not being alert to the threat at the back post. Good save from Craig Gordon, but a cool finish. So it's not looking great now for Scotland with Croatia getting that second goal.
And it's another game Scotland have conceded more than once in this run, which unless they can find a couple of goals unanswered, it's going to be another match to add to the list of winless games over the last 13 months. It will be 1 in 15 if they don't manage to turn this back in their favour. You'd say it's very much odds against that happening, and they would absolutely take a draw even if it was 1 win in 15. But this is a draw in Zagreb, then fine, but they're going to have to find a way of being a threat. I don't know if that means making changes now, because he hasn't made one yet, Steve Clarke.
Yeah, maybe, but I still think that as much as Croatia have grown into the game, and certainly this second half had a bit more territory in and around the box, I still feel that there's chances there for Scotland. They've getting good positions, particularly in the wide areas, and maybe that final ball just hasn't been the one to go and really create that opportunity. But Scotland are still in the game. It's not as though it's 90th minute goal where there's no time to react. I think that just don't lose your composure. Don't be forcing the issue and overcommitting and leaving yourself wide open. But yeah, I think that changes bring a bit of freshness. I know Che Adams was spoken about not being able to play the full game, but certainly it can be an option to go and stretch a game.
Perisic for Croatia coming down the right hand side. Baturina on the overlap, uses him level with the penalty spot. Baturina sells McLean the dummy, gets his cross in, headed away by Ralston. Modric beats Robertson to it. He's found Baturina, back to Modric, looks up, picks the pass, gets the cross in, headed away by Ralston. Doak clears it, and then it's rifled high over the bar by Guardiol from about 25 yards, and it stays 2-1 to the Croatians almost on 74 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same theme, looking for those crosses towards the back post. Ralston's in good positions there to get the first contact, and Scotland just can't quite clear it.
He can't get a hold of the ball at all at the moment. Flag's gone up on the far side. The referee blows. Not sure what happened there. I think there's a lot of arms outstretched amongst the Croatian camp.
Offside against Doak. He's then going and chasing.
So Croatia are annoyed because they've got the ball and they're coming forward. Why has the ref brought it back for a free kick in that case?
I have no idea. I can understand the frustration. The assistant referee obviously has to put his flag up and let him know, but the referee thankfully stops Croatia in their tracks.
Che Adams is coming on. Chris Woods, the goalkeeping coach, is there along with the fourth official, and Adams will be on at the next break in play. By the looks of it, Scotland winless in each of the last 8 competitive matches. It's the longest streak of that kind in the national team's history, and they could potentially, as it stands, they're staring at it, lose 4 games in a row for the first time since those troubled early Steve Clarke days in 2019, and the games against the Russians and the Belgians. And Baturina picks up for Croatia on this near side. Christie all over him. Baturina spins away from the Scotland number 11. He's still on it down towards the bylines. Christie's touch takes it behind for the corner on this near side. To Croatia are looking to put this game to bed now. They might just keep Dykes on the pitch for defending this corner rather than bringing him on now. Dykes knows he's coming off, but he's got one more act to perform, and that is to help the defence here. Less than 15 to go. 2-1 to Croatia, and Scotland have to face another Luka Modric corner. It's amazing, isn't it, when you look at these players, evergreen players, Modric, Ronaldo, Lewandowski in this group. They've all wounded Scotland somehow. I know Modric hasn't scored tonight, but he's been such a threat.
Yeah, he's still class. You know, I know he's 39, but he doesn't look it the way that he's still got that little burst of pace when needed.
Yeah, he takes the corner, it's flicked away, and the ref's going to give Scotland a free kick. Away with one, I think the two Scotland players, Hanley and Wallstrom, has bumped into each other, and the ref has decided that is a free kick. The changes will be made because Ryan Gauld is also going to be entering the fray, along with Shea Adams. It'll be cap number 34 for Adams. He missed the matches last month. There were conflicting reports as to the reasons for that. It was because of a little injury. It had been reported in Italy that he was wanting to settle in Turin and didn't want the international football last month, but that was rubbished by Adams himself. Ben Doak coming off, Lyndon Dykes coming off, and Doak had run his race, sadly.
Yeah, I mean, he's still a threat, but he's not played a lot of football in his career, and you know, just that little bit of freshness. Ryan Christie's going over to the right hand side, Gould's coming to the left, and obviously Adams just a straight swap for Lyndon Dykes. But Ben Doak can be happy with his night's work.
Yeah, and the Scotland fans can be rightly excited about what he's going to bring to the table. Of course, on loan at Middlesbrough this season, and a loan move to an English Championship side, possibly ideal for Ben Doak for this campaign. He tries to forge a successful Liverpool career like his national captain. Scotland have it with McTominay. They're going to push it through to Christie, right hand side of the box, change of pace. Into the box goes Christie, shoots! Oh, it's wide! He's put it past across the face of goal and wide of the left hand post. You're just fully expecting either Christie to score or pull it back to Adams. Gauld was in about there as well, but it stays Croatia 2, Scotland 1. But that is it's an optimistic sign that this game's not done yet.
Yeah, it's great play, tight spaces. Billy Gilmore to McTominay, he plays in Christie, and he gets it exactly where he wants it. Takes the touch back onto his left foot, his body's open, he's just trying to curl that into the far post, potentially offside anyway.
Yeah,
but
just seeing that, yeah.
We know the quality he has where it looks like he's going to just bend it for the far post. He actually hits it straight and maybe doesn't quite get the connection he's looking for. It's a big opportunity though, and that's, of course, you'd rather see the net bulge and, you know, Scotland get back level, but it's an encouraging sign that there is still chances here for Scotland to get themselves level.
Well, a little under 12 minutes to go. We'll be back with Scotland on Score7 on Tuesday night when they host Portugal. Match day 4. Here's McTominay. We're going to get it through to Christie again. It's cut out this time by Chaleta Tsar. And he plays it out to Sosa on the far side. Then back to the Leon defender. And into Sosa, who smashes it forward. And Sosa up against his clubmate Shea Adams now, both of them at Torino. Started the season pretty well. They were top of the embryonic table in Italy. They've dropped down a bit since then, but Adams has scored 4 goals, including 3 on the bounce early in his Torino career. As Croatia play it out from the back, it's with Gvardiol over on that left-hand side, up the line for Sosa. Back to Gvardiol, it's a long ball forward, and the Scotland defence almost caught by Baturina in behind. Gilmer trying to get back at him. Baturina has it left-hand side of the box. Rolls it back in field. An opportunity here perhaps for Petkovic. Out to Sosa, crosses in. Flicked away out to this near side, and Ryan Gauld boots it to safety. And cushion header there by Chutalo. And that's lovely gliding play at the edge of the penalty area, and the shot is well wide from Petar Sucic. Good little turn. Scotland not closing the players down as they were in the first half. That's what made it such a strong first half performance, was their work off the ball. They just look like they're tiring out there. It stays 2-1 Croatia. We're in the final 10.
Yeah, it's been difficult because Croatia have made, you know, changes in that attacking area in midfield, bringing that freshness. So they've been in the positions throughout the game. They're just finding their teammates a lot more easily towards the end of this game. And look, you can understand they put so much into the game, Scotland, and it's still, you know, there to go and get a positive result. So you have to go and take those risks at times to try and push some bodies forward. As you see with the opportunity for Ryan Christie, there's still chances left in this game for Scotland.
Craig Gordon just put it straight into touch though. It's going to be a Croatia throw-in on this near side. And Ivan Perisic is over it. And some of the Scotland fans would have celebrated that Greek victory in London the other night, but that did not do their hopes of avoiding pot 3 in a World Cup qualifying draw any good at all. Greece are one of the nations that Scotland don't want to be winning matches right now, if indeed they don't manage to finish in the top 2 of this Nations League group, which if they lose this one is becoming even more unlikely. And later in Warsaw it's Poland-Portugal as McLean picks up and knocks it out to the right for Ralston, up the line for Christie. Christie then flicks it infield to Kenny McLean. I just haven't seen McLean and Gilmour on the ball in the second half. McTominay as well, as that long ball down the left hand side aimed for Gold is headed out for a throw in by Perisic and picked up by Gilmour, who bowls it infield to McLean. And back to Billy Gilmour, looking for space. Modric all over him. Turns it back into his own half for Suter. And then to the right of the centre circle it is Ralston. Out to Christie on the far side touchline. He's replaced Doak on that right hand side. His ball in field cut out, but gets away with it. So it bumped off Budimir. It's now with McLean, a long ball forward, but it's a comfortable chest back to his goalkeeper by Guardiol. And it stays Croatia 2, Scotland 1 with 8 of the 90 to play.
Yeah, it's only comfortable because McTominay slips, he makes a run, Kenny McLean spots him, and it's the right pass, it's a good weight. He's just running in front of Guardiol, but the slip allows Guardiol to come back and just deal with it.
Robertson has it on this left hand side, on the halfway line, back into his own half for Hanley. And Grant Hanley shifts it forward to Gilmour. On the halfway line, knocks it forward, looking for Ryan Gold. Perisic just gets between the man and the ball and chaperones it back to Livakovic, who picks the ball up eventually. Do Scotland have one big chance left in them? They had one with Christie a few minutes ago. The man who gave Scotland the lead tonight spurned it. And it's back with Livakovic.
I think there is, because there has to be an element as well from Croatia that they can't, keep piling bodies forward. At some point are they going to make a decision where not that they'll shut up shop, but they'll take less risks, and hopefully that allows Scotland to get an opportunity.
They've given it away, and Modric has it left hand side of the Scotland box. He's inside it now, back to the edge of the area. Scotland trying to defend this. The shot at goal is blocked. It was Petkovic, and then a free kick for a foul on Gilmour as Scotland tried to dig themselves out of trouble there. The ref wants the free kick taken from the correct position, which it is eventually by Suter. He squares it to Hanley, who knocks it forward to Gilmour, and then out to this left hand side for Robertson. Robertson then driving forward, flicking it infield for Ryan Gold. It's found Adams, first time ball, low out to Robertson, gets the chip ball into the box, but the flag's got up against Andy Robertson over there on the far side, and it stays Croatia 2, Scotland 1. So frustrating that they, again, just as in Lisbon, had the lead against a top class side. They've been pegged back and now they're behind and they're chasing.
Yeah, it is, but that's what happens when you're playing against teams at that level. It's tough to watch because you're seeing a lot of good signs and a lot of good things in the game, but ultimately it's a chance to go and win the game where, there's still time to go and get an equaliser, but it seemingly looks like it's thrown away, and that is tough to take. These are the lessons that you learn at this level. But I think that Scotland will get another chance. I really feel that a chance is there. It's whether we can get someone to stick it in the back of the net, because Croatia, they were aggressive in the press, they'll try to force mistakes. They're sitting off a little bit, but they're still in good positions to hurt Scotland when they pick the ball up.
Croatia give it away this time. Sosa, he's looking for someone to play, and Gilmour has it, knocks it forward there to Gold. Now it's with Adams. Adams out to Ralston on the right hand side. It's a long drifted ball to the left hand side of the box, but a really good experienced header back to his goalkeeper by Perisic. Livakovic underarm balls it to Perisic on this near side. He's got a long ball forward down the right for Baturina, who's on to it now. Robertson trying to get back at him. Baturina has it. Level with the penalty spot. Robertson slipped. Baturina's in the box. Pulls it back to the penalty spot. And it's a wonderful little challenge by Gilmour. Really was, because Budimir's pulling the trigger there. And Gilmour just enough to put him off, and Scotland get it away. They trail 2-1. We're in the final 4 minutes of the 90.
Yeah, as I say, Croatia picking up good positions.
And Baturina's away again down the right. His ball across is blocked in the 6-yard area. Really well by John Souttar. Again, it's Budimir threatening inside the 6-yard area. And Souttar covered his position well, and out it goes for another Croatia throw-in on this near side. Ivan Perisic is over it. Still no further changes for Scotland. As Perisic gets it back immediately, back to Baturina, level with the 6-yard line. Side football back to Perisic. His attempted pass back's cut out by McLean. Scotland get it away, but it's all the way back through with Livakovic. It's come outside his box, launches it forward with the right foot. And underneath it there was Petkovic. Can't really get a teammate involved, and Gilmour with a little back heel for Christie. And now Robertson to Billy Gilmour, flights it forward there, he spots the run of Gold, and Gold's coming down the left hand side of the Croatia box. Adams waiting in the middle, in it comes. Oh, and it was almost knocked towards his own goal by Chaleta Tsar, and eventually they bundle it out for a throw-in on this near side for Scotland.
It's great play all the way through the midfield, little ball in behind as well for Gold. Great run, timing the movement, and he's just waiting for Che Adams to make a move. Che Adams makes it too late, but it's a dangerous ball that he struggles to deal with, Chaleta Tsar.
Well, it's not quite last orders yet, it's getting there though. Scotland have it with McLean, 2.5 of the 90 left. Scotland trailing 2-1, it's Gold. McTominay in the box, lovely spin, left hand side of the area. He's got it back in his right foot, it's opened up, oh no, he's put it well wide, the flag's gone up anyway. So it wouldn't have counted, but McTominay's been so deadly for Scotland, as all his international goals have come in competitive matches, which is okay, they don't play as many friendlies these days, but you were just expecting him to find the top corner there. The flag's kind of spared him.
Yeah, and it's good play again, little ball into Gold, who's in a great position, turns quick, plays it into McTominay's feet, and when he takes it onto his left foot, I'm expecting him to get the shot away then, but he works it back onto his right. He's off balance, he cuts across it, it's high and wide, offside anyway, but again, for me, it's good play. There's still chances here.
They're finishing the game pretty well here, Scotland, at least the 90 minutes. It's Gilmour who has it, and he's gone down. He's been fouled by Budimir. There'll be a Scotland free kick right of the centre circle, just inside their own half. 2-1 Croatia.
I think what's important is the desperation can't come, because then you force things, and you go back 5 minutes ago, Anthony Ralston's is in a position where he can play it wide to McTominay, he goes for the diagonal, which is probably the wrong option. Perisic then deals it very well, but the last couple is nice play and not forced, and I think the chance is there for Scotland to get the equaliser.
Scotland have it wide on the right. Christie, the cross ball deep to the left hand side of the area, killed in the chest by Robertson, left hand side of the area, back to McLean, who whips an overhit ball well past for a goal kick. At least it looked like it was going for a goal kick. Kept in play by Sosai, gets it forward to Petkovic, who collects over on that left hand side. We're in the 90th minute. It's played back into their own box there for Chaleta Tsar, who puts it out for a throw, and you can hear the Scotland fans perhaps. Off to our right here inside the stadium. Far side, Ralston's ball in. Chaleta Tsar heads it away. Gilmour's header. Souttar trying to keep it in play on the far side, and he has done so. Now with Gilmour, need to find out what the stoppage time's going to be. Ball forward cut out by Modric. Now it's with Gvardiol. And Croatia have it back. Petkovic rolling it infield to Gvardiol, and he's given it away. 4 minutes have been added on at the end. We're into the first inning. There's Robertson. Gold. Adams is in there, left hand side of the box, flicks it back across. There's nobody to put it home. It's brilliant from Che Adams. Flicked it back across the face of goal. There was nobody at the back post to put it in. It looked for a moment like his effort itself might have crept in, but it stays. Croatia 2, Scotland 1, and Perisic is going to come off to be replaced by Augsburg's Christian Jakic.
It's a magnificent pass from Ryan Gold. Andy Robertson plays it into his feet. Che Adams spins, makes the run beyond, and he just clips it into his path. I think that he should just step on it and hit it first time and meet it before it bounces, because then the chance almost goes. Just step into it and hit it first time. He almost manages to lift it over the goalkeeper and into the back of the net. But I think the striker there has to go and hit that first time. It's a great opportunity again. Lovely little pass from Ryan Gold.
Well, James did say they would get a chance. Do they get another one after that? They've had their opportunities. Steve Clark will be leaving Zagreb if they don't find an equaliser here in stoppage time, and we played one of the 4 minutes. He's actually going to be frustrated that they've not taken something from the match.
Without doubt. I think that, you know, we speak about the quality of Croatia, and it's there for all to see, but I think that this has been a strong performance from Scotland again, and now, you know, there's still chances here to go and get the equaliser, albeit time is fast running out. But I did feel that at some point Croatia would have to decide whether they keep going to try and get the third goal or sit back. At times have been caught in between. Scotland certainly getting, you know, more of the ball, more territory, more chances to open them up.
McTominay wins it from Modric and drives forward across the halfway line. Early ball forward to Gold. First time low out to Christie on the far side. The seconds are ticking away. McTominay, right hand side of the box, is attempted ball across, is cut out though, and Croatia come away with it. And it's the tall figure of Petar Sucic. He takes it for a run down the left hand side. And he's still going. There's no challenge on him. Sucic down the left he goes. And eventually Suter gets there, wins it back and knocks it up the line to Christie. Less than 2 to play. Christie has it. Moving up towards the halfway line. He's got Robertson at close quarters. Leaves it for the captain. Robertson under pressure. Finds Gilmore, and now it's with Hanley. And then Robertson again in the centre circle. Rolls it to Ralston. Remember, this performance coming off the back of a good showing in Lisbon, up against it at times. The second half against Poland, save from the late penalty, was a good performance as well. And it's looking like, well, will be 1 win in 15. Even if Scotland find an equaliser as Christie knocks it through, but that would put a different complexion on things. Gold can't control, and now it's with Modric. And out to Baturina on this near side, charging forward, and then the cynical challenge there from Robertson, and it's going to be Gilmore. And it's going to be a yellow card for the Scotland midfielder. The most obvious yellow card you'll see all season long. And with that, we're in the final minute of the 4 that were added, and Croatia can eat up the seconds that remain. And it's looking like another defeat for Scotland, 4 in the bounce.
Yeah, all that he has to make him up. He just stops the attack. Baturina, he's got the leg, he's on him. He's Gold and Elmer that are trying to get back. Andy Robertson had pushed forward. Huge space up that right hand side for him. He had to make that fill, and it suits Scotland because it stops the counter. It suits Croatia because it takes the sting out of the game and allows them to have the ball in a good position and waste as much time as they can.
Here's McLean, challenged by Baturina, out for a Scotland throw-in, but it's deep inside their own half. McLean bowls it. We're into the final 10 seconds. The ref's had a look at his watch. The Romanian official. It's going to have to come now if Scotland are taking anything from Zagreb. Ralston, side football to Gilmore. 4 minutes have been played. It is Scotland on the ball here with Christie. They did bring Jakic on just at the start of the stoppages. Croatia, it's a deep ball towards the left-hand side of the box. Robertson controls. Knocks it back towards the penalty spot. McLean can't get it under control. He's claiming handball. Scotland are in. It's been slipped into the net. The far corner. Che Adams scores with just about the last kick of the ball in Zagreb. And Adams slides it into the far corner of the net to give Scotland what you have to say is a deserved point on the night. The Croatians are looking for answers. The referee's telling them to get out of his face. Adams was in and he slips it past Livakovic. A huge moment for this team, which has been under the cosh and has received so much criticism recently. But they look as though they've just salvaged a point here in the Maximir, when it's Croatia 2, Scotland 2.
Well, there'll be a check, so I'm not going to get carried away. but it's well deserved. It really is. And again, spoke about having a bit of patience. There was a chance for Ralston to maybe put the ball in earlier. They don't. They go out the other side, work a better position to cross the ball. And it's a great switch of play to Andy Robertson. And just wonder if Shea Adams...
Well, they haven't restarted it yet, and there's a lot of...
Nah, he's offside.
Off.
It looks like it to me.
Well, it's... Yeah. I think the technology they use, UEFA use for these big matches, whether it's international or at club level, the semi-automated technology, generally you get the decision if it comes to offsides immediately. But the longer this goes on, the more you feel this goal might not stand. The ref's walking back towards the Croatia box. Still everyone's looking for answers, James.
Yeah, I mean, I think they must be looking at who has the final touch when it goes into the path of Shea Adams. Whether that's Kenny McLean, whether it's a defender. Plus also, you know, there was a claim for the handball, so they checked that as well. If the determine minute comes off a Croatia player last before it goes into the path.
This isn't going to stand. This isn't going to stand. No goal. No goal. Heartbreaking for Scotland right at the end. The goal doesn't stand after the lengthy VAR check. And the Croatian supporters, the bench, the players all celebrating. And the referee blows for full time as well. It's defeat for Scotland in Zagreb, just when it looked as though they had pulled a point from nowhere right at the death. But it doesn't count. Shea Adams is talking to the referee. It's not going to matter what he says, because Scotland have lost this game. And Steve Clarke will be thinking that they deserved something from it. They led through Ryan Christie on 33 minutes, scrappy goal it was, they didn't care. And that was cancelled out by Matanovic. Just a few minutes later he found the bottom left corner for 1-1. Croatia were better in the second half. Craig Gordon made several saves. Modric was a constant threat, and Kramaric with a header on the rebound with 20 of the 90 to play has scored what's proven to be the winning goal, and that coming before the late drama. Shea Adams attacked a ball through into the box. Kenny McLean had claimed a penalty and came bouncing off one of the Croatian defenders. Found itself in the bottom right corner of Livakovic's net, but it does not count after the VAR check. There's plenty going on inside the box. They found something. Whether it was simply an offside or if it was something else, we'll find out in the shake-up. But it is defeat. It is 1 win in 15. It's 4 defeats on the bounce for Scotland. And this run of the worst run ever of competitive matches without a victory moves on to 9, with the Portuguese up next in Glasgow on Tuesday evening. The Tartan Army booing the officials as they make their way to the tunnel, which is off to a right behind the goal in the Maximir. And it's a devastating end to the game, just as it looked as though Scotland were going to pick up a worthy point. It finishes here in Zagreb in Nations League A. Croatia 2, Scotland 1.
Scotland in the UEFA Nations League.
Live on Sports Sound.
From BBC Radio Scotland.
There's no substitute.
You're listening to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. Stay tuned, there's a news at 7 o'clock. We'll be back for a few minutes and then we'll hand you over to the off-the-ball team, Tam Cowan and Mark Nelson. And within that, you will hear live from the Scotland manager, Steve Clarke. So stay tuned for that. Lots more reaction to come. Do you know what Tom English highlighted earlier? The late goals that we've lost, the late heartache, but that just felt really, really tough. And you could see it on the players tonight in their faces. They thought they had an equaliser right at the deathly end. You've had a good look at that on several occasions. He was in an offside position, but the question mark was there a deflection for the ball arrived at
Yeah, and I think that's why it's been a lengthy delay in terms of the officials looking at it. My understanding would be if it's a deflection and Shea Adams is offside at the point the deflection happens, he is deemed to be offside. if it was a deliberate action from the defender to motion towards the ball, he would have been onside as the ball arrived. So look, it's an absolute sucker punch for Scotland. It's this run of form. You need something like that tonight, right at the death, to go your way, to just make it feel like things are okay. I'm looking at the body language of the players in the pitch just as the game drew to a close. Craig Gordon looked devastated. I think even from the goalkeeper right through the team, you can see the effort that's gone into the performance tonight. All over the pitch, they've taken the league, they've been pegged back, they've went 2-1 down, and they thought they had found an answer just at the very end, and the celebrations told you that the players felt like they deserved that. So it's a horrible ending to the game for them. I felt we deserved something from it tonight, watching them, looking at the players coming off the bench as well, that had a real impact when they came in. Players like Ben Doak that had started, of course, and Shea Adams, who wasn't well enough to start the game, comes in and felt that he was a difference right at the end. But ultimately this run that Scotland's on continues.
Yeah, when you look at the situation, James, you know, the squad ravaged by injury. We're on a dreadful run of form. This one just feels really, really harsh tonight. We deserve something from that game.
I think you could argue that about all three games in the campaign so far. But yeah, I felt as though, look, we gave Croatia the credit they're due and the respect they're due in terms of us speaking about them and highlighting their qualities. I didn't see, you know, a massive gulf between both sides. They're a good side, but I felt as though Scotland are very good. You know, a couple of, again, you know, lapses in concentration, or they're maybe not been in the right position because they're that good a team that they continue to probe and they move you into positions you want you to be. For the main, the majority of the game, I think that we dealt with that pretty well, and we offered a lot going forward. At times, showed a lot of control. And good quality in the game as well. And I kept saying it because I felt as though there was going to be a chance to get the equaliser and finish on a high and get a positive result because of what the players had put in, because they'd shown quality and they'd shown, you know, patience and there was no desperation. And I know sometimes people look at it and say, well, I'll just get the ball in the box and just kick it for any angle. But it was worked into areas where we could get players into the box, we could get into a good position to try and exploit it. We almost got it in the end, you know, heartbreakingly taken off for offside, which is if it's a correct decision, then we can have no complaints about it. But it does feel like a sore one because we felt as though that was a moment where you go, yes, you know, we've got a positive performance, we've got a positive result. It stops it doesn't take all the negativity away, but it gives us a bit of positivity to look forward. Going forward, and you know, before the game you spoke about the injuries and how the team maybe, you know, would look not totally different, slightly different. I think you see then, you know, you're looking for the options coming off the bench. The subs that come on, you know, did really well, but you're looking at guys like John McGinn, you obviously miss that quality, a guy that can pop up with goals as well. But I thought it was a really good performance. Again, just heartbreaking in the end that we couldn't get something out of the game.
Yeah, really, really disappointing. Thanks to Liam McLeod and to James McFadden out in Zagreb. Just a reminder, there's plenty more reaction to come on Off the Ball. Stay tuned for that. You'll hear live from the Scotland manager, Steve Clarke. I can see pictures in front of me right now of the media out there in Zagreb, so he will face the media probably in the next 20 minutes or so. So stay tuned, plenty more to come right after the BBC Radio Scotland news at 7:02.
On digital radio,
FM,
your smart speaker,
and on BBC Sounds.
BBC Radio Scotland.